Good morning, everyone. We're a little early today. Frog Day indeed. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Lithic Dreams, welcome to chat. Hey, Concrete, thank you for the sub. Quiet? Do I sound quiet? What's up? Oh, the music might be a little loud. Hang on. How's that? Yeah, I'm a bit quiet. Hang on. Hello? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Any better? Hey, Tara! That's good. That's slightly better? Damn! Now the music is really quiet and rush. How about this? How we sounding? I think there was a Windows update and it fucked up my audio drivers and shit. Sounds good? Okay, dope. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today? It's doing good as ever. Shockingly good. Well, that's lovely. Shorn this morning. I got a haircut yesterday. I had some long ass hair and it was getting difficult to deal with, and it's really hot where I live. There's a lot of like trendy barber shops where I live where it's, I don't know, I went to this place a while back and the dude cutting my hair kept making like mildly mean jokes about women's basketball. And I was like, it was really expensive and I wasn't super happy with the cut I got. But I've always gone to this like Fantastic Sam's ass place run by these really nice old Cambodian ladies. Like there's a big Cambodian flag on the back wall. And I went there again yesterday and they like recognized me and knew exactly how I wanted my shit cut. It was only like 20 bucks. I trust Miss Nguyen. I don't need any of this fancy shit. Miss Nguyen has my shit figured out. I don't need any of that. My hair isn't that curly. I have curls, but they're not very curly. I'm definitely twink adjacent. That's fine. God, I remember a while back I took one of my friends to get her hair dyed for the first time, and they fucked it up. They really fucked it up, and she came out crying and shit. I felt so bad, man. I don't know. I think I'm whatever the they-them equivalent of a twink is. I'm sure that's still a twink thing, but it's a unique expression of twinkness. I'm also running on 30, so I'm not too attached to the twink label. Pardon me if this is insane to say, but I do think there's some valorization of twink as an identity. Okay, you know how for a while everyone on Twitter and TikTok was talking about goth women, but it was just a woman with dark hair and lipstick. It's a woman wearing black clothing and lipstick, and there was that idea that they weren't actually attracted to goth women. They were attracted to this, imaginary version of goth women. This, this... Not even idealized version of goth women, but this, simulacra of goth women. I think that's the same thing for twinks. There's, a... People valorize this idea of the twink simulacra. A sort of higher, impossible-to-achieve twink. It's in a similar way to how, every fucking TERF wants to look exactly like Ethel Cain. But they also hate Ethel Cain because she's able to look like that. There's that, the constant approaching of an ideal without ever being able to reach it. I think people are like that with twinkishness. A very similar thing happens with the concept of the femboy. That's not a real thing that people achieve in real life, but the idea of it is eroticized to people. I feel like Twitter goes through cycles of that. They pick a new erotic simulacra to fetishize every 18 months or so. If I were smarter, I'd be able to analyze those trends and see if it's indicative of something, but I don't know. Exactly. There's there's a floating sign of the twink, and you have to there's an idea of how twinks act and sound and behave and everything. Yeah, people... It's literally that tweet of, like women going to date a bisexual man being like, what happened to just being masculine? It's like, what happened to just being masculine? And then he goes home and to talk to a bunch of Discord transsexuals like, look at me, I'm the grungler. Hey, I'm the grungler. Whatever happened to beauty? Yeah, that's it. See, I don't think it's porn. I think porn... I don't think porn causes stuff like that. I think porn is a reflection of, like... It's like weird aestheticized fast fashion, and porn is just, like, the thing that capitalizes on that. Like, I think there is a monetary incentive, but it... Like, porn only reflects things that people are already talking about, you know? I think it's hard to blame porn for a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think there's definitely a feedback loop, but it's like less pronounced than I think a lot of people want to give it credit for. I think it's partly the desire to be countercultural without being countercultural. A lot of eroticism is like flirtation with boundaries, you know? Like I think that's why... I think that's why there was the wave of femboy stuff for a while. It's like society kind of towing the line with accepting trans women, and like this is kind of the oblique way that they're doing it. Is like you want for something to be erotic, it has to be taboo, but not too taboo. And there has to be a sort of play with that boundaries. So like once something becomes too quote unquote mainstream, it loses some of its erotic appeal in that sense. It's not transgressive anymore. But because people are so online, it's like, oh, now everyone on Twitter that I follow is talking about goth women. It's not, like, cool or interesting to be into goth women anymore. Hi, we're not playing Warframe right now. We're just kind of chilling. We will play Warframe now. Automod pulverized that white boy. I don't know. I'm fascinated with, like, the corners of... It's, like I said earlier, the fucking... Hang on. I'm aligning my thoughts. Not necessarily the commodification of sex in general, but, like, sexual fads. If I was smarter, I would know what this shit means, but I'm not that smart. Especially when it crosses over with marketing. That's always interesting to me. Anyone have any reason why Japanese learners are like that? I don't know what that means. Feels like it always goes back to that everyone is beautiful and no one is horny essay. Maybe. I think it's like... I don't know. It's like I wouldn't necessarily describe the sort of fad obsession with goth women to be on the same par as like the Marvel movie bicep shots. I don't think those are the same thing. Like there's never gonna be like a Griffith ass twink in a Marvel movie. something really interesting and sad related to this is the rise of trad wife aesthetics. Fucking yes, absolutely. Like, I think there's a great Benjamin essay that I haven't read, but my friend has like explained to me at length when we're driving around LA, where he talks about, like, to a degree, you can use fashion as a predictor of social trends. Like, where fashion is going is, generally speaking, where the aesthetics of a society are going. And there's this, like, return to, not necessarily return, but, like, emphasis on class distinctions happening in fashion right now. Like, the wealthy are dressing more conservatively, having nicer fabrics. As it's like nicer fabrics, more traditional aesthetics, as markers of social station. Because the rich always have to dress like something that is unachievable to the poor. Like, they're always fleeing how the poor dress, but at the same time they're coveting how whatever the coolest black people in American society are dressing like. And they're trying to, like, they're trying to co-opt that, right? So they want to dress like the cool and successful people of, like, the cool and successful poor people, but they don't actually want to look poor. And I think there's a lot of that present in the whole trad wife aesthetic thing. I remember seeing this fucking video. It's kind of fashion related, but this woman had, like, a type of stove that she was cooking on that was a type of stove you don't see anymore, because they were intended to also be the central heating unit for the house. And so it's like, this thing costs a small fortune. Like, this thing costs a small fortune, and it takes constant upkeep and fuel use, because it's supposed to be the thing, like, keeping your house warm in upstate New York during the autumn and winter. But she had this, like, beautiful flowing dress on, and it did that thing where it looked kind of shabby and shapeless, but it was made of a really nice fabric with all this beautiful embroidery. A lot of fashion is just like social signifiers, right? It's a language that you're participating in to signal to other people how you want it to see. I remember this video essay from CJ the X talking about fucking menswear guy on Twitter, and I loved the first, like, 90% of the video, because it ends without, like, it's all pointing to this very obvious conclusion of, like, okay, now that we understand fashion as, like, a cultivated language of social signifiers, and then he just goes back and says, like, and Jordan Peterson's suits are bad. It's like, no, you're supposed to, like, everything about that video was setting up an understanding of the social language of fashion, and they needed to use that language to fucking analyze not just that Jordan Peterson's suits are bad, but why his suits, like, what are his suits saying, and why are they ugly? Because they are ugly. They're, like, pretty objectively ugly. They're cheaply made. They don't fit him. They have this really, like, fake deep symbology to them that's kind of hilarious. Would you say it's like capital R Rhett Vern vibes, or just regular Return? It's like, I mean, the trad wife shit is capital R Rhett Vern shit. You see, the ill-fitting suit is the archetype of the neglectful father. There's a great video where he's like, I think he's talking about it to Joe Rogan, where he opens up one flap of the suit, and he's like, on the inside it has like a Google Images ass cloud pattern. He's like, and then he opens the other one, it has a Google Images fire image on it. He's like, on one side it's heaven, and on the other side it's hell. And Joe goes, wow, that's pretty deep, man. That's crazy. I do like that he's dressing like a Batman villain. It kind of rules. Well, they're also like the really, really cheap suits that like they're super tight. Like they cling to all your fucking crevices, and they're made of like it's like a silk blend with like a really stretchy synthetic fabric, so that it kind of looks like you're wearing a spandex suit. Didn't he say that? They were failing to conform to the aesthetic tradition is like Jordan Peterson and the rest of the manosphere doing that as a result of fascism. I don't know if that was... I don't know if that was exactly what they were saying, but a big part of Jordan Peterson's whole philosophy is, like, presentability. And this is just, like, his ugly suits are just kind of what suits look like. And that's where the fashion has been going for the last, like, 8 years. So who knows? I don't know. Generally speaking, I try to dress like David Byrne. I love a good Southwestern shirt. Hi, Ellie! I put on my signature ugly suit just for the occasion of this stream. I love the idea of dressing up for Philosophy Friday like you're going to church. David Byrne is a great person to dress like. Like, what's that tweet where it's like, you meet the most uninteresting person you've ever met, and they have a shirt that's like, I got a lobotomy at Home Depot. And then you meet the most interesting person you've ever met, and they're wearing a dress that's very Claire's or some shit. David Byrne manages to dress normal in a way that is like... It's like we were talking earlier. It's like a definite signifier that he's a weird guy. I recently got a nice pair of cowboy boots. I went out to the desert and found like a cobbler that is like the cobbler for ranches and shit, and they had like they had a pair of black boots that fit me perfectly, dog. I was so happy, but all of my jeans are like still ratty ass skater boy jeans, so I want to get a pair of nice bootcut jeans. Just one. That's all I really need. A pair of nice black bootcut jeans. Blazer, ugly. Trousers, ugly. Dress shoes, ugly. Necktie, snazzy, on point, to really draw attention to the lost potential interest of the ensemble. That's right. And Blood Meridian is peak, thank you for wrecking it. Shadows so stark, they are going to break the covenant with flesh, author them, and wander off caring nothing for the sun or man or God. Dude, fucking McCarthy's brassy ass tone is so good. It's so peak. There's a bit, like, I think the Apache Raid chapter is some of the best writing of the last 100 years. Like, the bit where he describes the people getting forced to their knees and tonsured to the bone. Like, that's how he describes guys getting scalped. It's like absolute fucking cinema. You, like, literally a genius description. It's so visceral. Fucking forced to their knees and tonsured to the bone. How fucking badass. My favorite turn of phrase from that chapter is when It's like a Legion of Horribles. Death hilarious. It's so good. Read Blood Meridian. A lot of people talk about trying to do like, oh, it's an anti-Western, talking about how they're actually kind of bad and racist, and then Cormac McCarthy's... Yes, my PNG tuber is under the thrower money on purpose. God, Blood Meridian is so good. I read an article about Cormac McCarthy where they found like some of his early drafts. Like we have an early draft of the scene where he's talking to, where it's like the fireside scene where the kid is talking to the judge and they like get their fortunes told or whatever. And it's like, it's so validating about first drafts because his first draft of that scene is like, it's shit. It's crowded. The tone is tinny. Like, it's really unsubtle. The judge, like, the first Judge 1.0, like Judge Holden 1.0 is so like, he's more mean and kind of Mephistophelian. Like, there's a bit of an, ooh, I'm the devil type tone. Hi, Sanity.
What's up?
We're talking about Blood Meridian.
About Blood Meridian?
Yeah, the book Blood Meridian.
That's like the Prime Meridian, but for Hades, right?
Kinda. It's more about, it's more like the Demiurge.
Oh, I still don't know what that is.
So the Demiurge is like, it in ancient Greek it literally means the weaver or the craftsman, and it refers to like it refers to the being that made the world, because in a lot of mythologies there's like a supreme god, but they didn't actually make the universe. They like made a bunch of lower deities that then made the universe.
I see. It's like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, I believe Dungeons and Dragons has a parallel for this. Here, let me turn you up.
Oh, let me make sure my microphone didn't fall off. Sometimes it falls off.
Okay,
and then I get very tiny and quiet.
Chat, how's the volume? How are we doing?
We probably should talk after you ask that, so we can both get here. You and I both talk together. Yeah, there we go.
Sanity is loud. Sanity is big voice. Okay, turning Sanity down. Sanity, keep talking. Okay, how we doing?
This is. We'll see. That's also a. I'm talking in like a normal voice. I can get way louder.
A little bit more Sanity.
I see that the two that I'm seeing back to back where CT should be louder and then that I should be louder.
I see.
So
okay.
I think if we both peak our microphone, that's all we need.
Like Sanity should be a bit louder than you because of his nature, possibly.
Wait, I just looked at the stream. Do we have like a Hot Ones table, where like we're both sitting across the side from hot sauce?
That's a transparent JPEG of the branded Warframe hot sauce line.
Oh.
That we discovered last Friday.
I'm Googling it now.
Yeah, we were having a rollicking good time about Excalibur's Exalted Pineapple.
They crazy look like wine from a glance.
They
do. I just recently moved, and I was granted a bottle of Game of Thrones wine maybe like 5 years ago. And I don't drink wine now. I certainly didn't drink wine 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's a white, so I'm pretty sure it's just bad now because whites don't go better with time. But when I was moving, I found it, and I have had no other place to put it. So for the last couple days, it's just been in the room that's going to become my office, just in the middle of the room. And whenever I walk in...
What's the name of the Game of Thrones wine?
Oh, I don't know. It might be called Winter is Coming. I know
Oh,
Jon Snow's on it.
that would make sense. He's the big Game of Thrones boy.
Oh, I see. I googled Game of Thrones wine. This may not be as rare as we thought. It looks as though there's perhaps 50 different Game of Thrones wine.
I would imagine
Wines.
that there's many Game of Thrones wines. If you had a branded hot sauce, what would it be?
Ooh, mine would not. Mine would be more sweet with a little bit of kick, like just a little bit of that sriracha pistol, barbecue pistol, shrimp,
Just a
Markiplier
little
image
bit of
kick.
that pistol kick. Not too much of that
Yeah.
pistol kick, but a little bit.
You mentioned pineapple hot sauce, and that sounds very nice.
Yeah. So, okay, we're gonna grind some relics today. I've got some weapons that I need to do experience in. CD, can you just be slightly louder? I can't turn up my volume anymore. Hang on. I don't know why
Can you
I'm
get closer?
quieter.
Can you get closer to the microphone?
I'm up on this shit.
Okay, well you're just increased by like 40% audio.
Really? What?
Yeah, you
Okay,
just
I guess
got it.
I gotta have my fucking mouth on this. Okay, you're louder now. I guess
Yeah.
I just gotta be up on the mic.
That sounds about right.
Let me get something to put this shit on. 'Cause this is.
Oh, do you not have like a boom arm?
No, I fucking my I keep trying to set one up, but they don't like work. I gotta get a better audio setup, especially now that I'm like streaming regularly. Hang on.
I bought an expensive boom arm, and it's very nice.
Can use a
It's
couple
very
of my
malleable.
tarot decks.
Oh, you're just like stacking a desk microphone on decks to leave.
Yup, it's got a little tripod. Gentlemen, do we have any specific philosophy today? Yes, we do. So I have been editing all fucking week, and this weekend, my editor and I are going up to the mountains, and we're gonna do like a marathon writing retreat thing, editing shit. So I haven't had time to like prepare something nice and polished for everyone, but you move an inch back and it's like you're on the other side of the room. Fucking awesome, cool.
No, I don't think it's that different, unless the Discord call is appreciably different than what we're hearing on stream.
All right, well,
I think it's, as long as you're closer to it, like where you have it set up, I think it's going to be mostly fine.
all right.
We just gotta like every like hour, we just gotta check back in, because that happens to me on streams too, where I'll like lean back or my microphone will fall, and then I'll readjust and I bump 20% audio.
Yeah, same. So today I've been revisiting the Islamic alchemy world. So Sanity, tell me what your knowledge base of Islamicate alchemy is.
I know that algebra was created around that area. I know that there was one of the first golden ages of human intelligence, science, I guess, science, research.
Both
Alchemy is just kind of like early science, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Well, actually, a lot of the guys who like were huge alchemical geniuses of this time were also the dudes who were inventing alchemy. Like they considered, like alchemy and other shit was like all part of the same thing. There's a Roman concept called the quadrivium, which is like these are the 4 books you got to learn, and these are the 4 big sciences that you got to learn. And a lot of Islamic alchemists were like, oh yeah, this shit's just part of the quadrivium. Like it's just a part of the shit you got to study.
It's like the what's the equivalent? There's a joke to be made here. There's an equivalent for like law, I think. That's like the 4 books you need. Oh no, I'm thinking of this book contains all the sum of human information. It's everything you should learn at Harvard Business School and everything they don't
Teach you at Harvard Business School. Yeah, exactly.
It's that, but for Roman alchemy.
There's so the broad strokes of alchemical history up to this point was like Alexandrian alchemy, which was like a bunch of out of work Egyptian temple priests and scribes just like using coded language to communicate with each other and like trying to get jobs now that the temple system wasn't being funded anymore. And then there is a short era of like Byzantine alchemy, like late Roman alchemy, but it's really boring. It's just like people, it's like Olympiadoros and whoever the fucking other guy is talking about alchemy, and they're being like, but what if it's related to Plato and Aristotle? It's like, Okay, but we don't get anything new out of this. They're not like they don't really come up with any new shit.
They're drawing lines to what exists back to people that we already know about.
Yeah,
and
well,
they're just like, wouldn't it be cool if this was the case?
yeah. And they weren't like, they were also like, there's no indication that the Byzantine guys were like super popular. But then you get to the Islamic world and they went fucking gangbusters with it.
Now, before you get there, you said something that that very much made me giggle, which was out of work temple priests.
Yes.
Because the temples were being funded. Did
So-
they just stop believing in God and they're like, nah, we don't need any of this shit, actually?
That's a good question, actually. So the way that the Romans did shit was they show up in your country and they basically they went to war with you and they like killed 90% of your male population, and then like they just killed 90% of your male population and kind of like brutalized you, but they didn't touch your religion, right? They're just like, just speak Latin and say that like, oh, you've got like a river god. Well, can you say that he's clearly you worship an aspect of Artemis or whatever. So whatever your local temple is, it's an aspect of Artemis. And they would keep your local religion going because it helped with social cohesion. They didn't really care about what you were worshiping because they were just like, you're just worshiping the same gods that we are, but by a different name. And so we're here to correct that. You're just calling them the proper, it's Zeus now, whatever. Don't rebel against us.
Did that trickle back up? That like the main Roman priests were like, fuck, now I have to learn the 25 trillion different aspects of Demeter because we've conquered more lands.
No, actually, they had like there were like provincial governors who learned that shit. Where it's like, okay, we're in Scythia, like the guys back in Rome didn't have to learn that shit. But if you were like the magistrate of Scythia, you had to like know their local customs and shit. But like people back in Rome didn't really give a shit. You had underlings for that.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, by the like 1st century, Rome was getting itself into a lot of really expensive foreign wars, and they couldn't afford to fund the local Egyptian temple system anymore. And the interesting thing with Egypt is that they were kind of the exception to the Roman rule, where the Romans respected shit that was old, so they kind of let the Egyptian system do whatever they wanted. They're like, oh, you have your own gods, but they're like older than ours. That's fine. You just keep worshiping Thoth, whatever. And a huge part of the Egyptian temple system was like there needed to be a guy who made little metal statues of like Thoth and Anubis and shit. And so a lot of low-level priests were like metallurgists, like just like special ritual blacksmiths who just spent all of their time making statues of Thoth. And when the Romans were like, we can't fund this anymore, we've gotten into too many wars, a lot of those like priests were out of work and were like, please give me a job, I can make cool metals. Because the temple system, like, they had a lot of trade secrets over time. Like they had a lot of knowledge that like other metallurgists didn't know how to do. Like famously they could produce like these really beautiful gold alloys where it's like they can make bronze that's like a beautiful sky blue or a beautiful jet black, and nobody else knew how to do that. So all these out-of-work temple priests had a vested interest in like not sharing their trade secrets with other people. So they kept using their own religious language to like encode their trade secrets. And so instead of saying like, oh, you add some of this like bismuth like mash to the bronze mixture and it colors it like this, they'd say like, oh, you add the aspect of Venus to the conglomerate of the sun or whatever. Because nobody else knew what that meant, but all the temple priests knew what that meant.
Oh, okay. That makes. You've said things like that before when we were doing the potion stream and stuff. Of like, oh, there needs to be more like whatever aspect of Mars.
Yeah.
It's interesting that's like the root cause of that.
Well, it became like the de facto technical language for alchemy in that period. Like, people just kept rolling that shit forward to the point where it just became how you talked about metallurgy. Like, it just became a popular way to protect your trade secrets and communicate with other alchemists.
Yeah, that's pretty intelligent too.
Yeah,
it's a shared It's a shared language. It also adds value to your craft, because then when someone's like, what is that? And you're like, oh, it's this. You're like, well, that sounds mystical and crazy. You must know, there must be like God within this metalwork. There must be magic.
Right,
even though
right.
it's just bismuth.
It's extra special.
Mhm.
Val, I understand it perfectly. I understand all alchemy.
It's like when Big Mac sauce at McDonald's is just the normal burger sauce, but they're like, no, it's actually Big Mac sauce, and there's never been a recipe ever released ever.
We're the first people to make Big Mac sauce, actually.
Yeah, well, it's also like the Coca-Cola secret formula. When like you go anywhere, especially like any like foreign country to America, and they have like a local Coke that's just Coke, but it's called something different, and it's the exact same Coke recipe, and they've been doing it for 100 years.
Right, and it's
But
like
when you
it's
call it
different
the
because it has a
secret Coke
little bit of
formula.
chicory in it.
Yeah.
That a very similar thing happened with alchemy. So like this coded the if you want to impress your friends, chat, the official academic term for these like spiritual coded language is called deknomen, or cover names. Like they don't speak in code, they speak in deknomen. They use deknomen. Oh my god, fucking hell.
That's what happens when you're trying to play Uno with someone who is a notorious card eater.
They're nomming that damn
deknomen.
deck, bro.
Yeah.
Hey man, quit nomming the deck.
If Yu-Gi-Oh went on for 2 more seasons, that would have been like a major plot point. That like they fight a guy, and whenever he destroys your card, he eats it also. And he's called Magister Deknomer.
Yup. Deknomen, as in cover names, but in German. Yeah, it was the term comes from German scholarship.
Oh, that's not what they called it? That's just what the German scholars called it when
No.
they like look back at it?
Deknomen is German,
I see.
but it's the scholarly term for that. Basically, we get you go through the Byzantine world, and then you get the invention of Islam and the founding of Baghdad. And Baghdad is a huge fucking deal. Like, in some of the books I was reading about Baghdad during this period, it was like one of the scholars described it as like a literal utopia. Like, and while that's obviously not true, the sentiment stands. Like, in human history, there had really never been a city as wealthy and populous as Baghdad in that time. It's Chimera. It's literally Michael City for alchemists. That's a really good way of putting it. It's like there had never been a city like the Library of Baghdad was the largest library on Earth by a factor of like 10, and there are no surviving descriptions about what the inside looks like.
Well, it was all a facade. They didn't actually have it inside. They just,
Right.
they put all the money into making it big on the outside. Everyone's like, dude, it's so cool they don't even let you see anything.
Right. That's actually like a theory that the Library of Baghdad wasn't one building, but was actually like a system of libraries throughout Baghdad. Like there was not a Library of Baghdad, but a library system of Baghdad.
That would make probably more sense as well, because that also that's what I like about a lot of different myths and stuff. It's like little mistranslations like that, where even in like modern parlance, if I was talking about like my state's library system, I would say like, you know, the libraries of my state. And if someone's hearing that, they might be like, oh damn, you have 50,000 like books in one library, but it's the whole system.
Right.
And it also adds to the mythomicality, the cool of it, the magic of it, the fun of it, the cool of it, the fun of it, the magic of it, the fun of it.
The cool and fun of it. Cool plus fun.
Exactly. That's what a library is. It's cool plus fun.
Like we have a lot of like economic paperwork from the Islamic Empire at this point, and it was like Baghdad was the axis upon which the entire economy of the Umayyad Caliphate turned. Like, it was the economic engine that drove the entire empire. Like, that's how wealthy and prosperous this place was.
Wow.
Yeah. And part of it was, like, the Islamic Empire spent, I forget which caliphate it was, and the Islamic Golden Age lasted, like, several hundred years. Like, if you want to be specific about it, there were many Islamic Golden Ages that spanned many different administrations and caliphates. But they all spent a fuckload of money on scholarship. Like, scholarship always flourishes whenever there's big translation movements. Like, there was kind of a precursor. Mr. Casual, are you listening to the stream right now?
They did say, "Oh, yo, that's me."
Yeah. Well, thank you. Please help me kill. I need help badly.
Is Mr. Casual a character within Warframe?
No, they're just one of the people playing with me in the squad right now.
Oh! I was gonna say, I don't know much about Warframe, but it would feel weird that, like, the names are all seem pretty badass, and then one of the, like, evil villains is called Mr. Casual.
That would be cool. There is a villain called the Man in the Wall.
That seems kind of Dark Souls.
It's a little Dark Souls. He also has his whole thing is having a creepy dissolve tool smile.
Oh, like the movie Smile.
Yeah,
yeah. Smile.
His name is Wally. Thank you. Good old Wally. Exactly. So the Library of Baghdad had, like, a huge scholarly class. Like, whenever people ask me, it's like, you have to go back in time during medieval times. Where do you go? Fucking scholar in the Library of Baghdad. No question. They washed their damn hands and slavery was banned. It's not even a question. I want to be a scholar in the Library of Baghdad. I'll learn Arabic.
How was the, like, social mobility? Would they allow a foreigner that didn't speak their language to come and do whatever?
Yes. No. The Islamic Empire at that period was, like, I mean, obviously mostly Arabic because it was, like, but the huge thing about early Islam is that it was a very egalitarian, like, multi-populist society that believed in, like, uniting the disparate tribes of the Arab world into a single parity under this banner of an egalitarian religion. Like, early Islam was surprisingly woke. And they funded the fuck out of their libraries and shit. And so the first big, like, there's a couple, like, early writers of Islamicate alchemy, but they a common thing in alchemical literature is, like, you find, like, a monarch or something who died recently, and then you address all of your books to that guy. As if, like, you kind of pretend that you were a secret patron and that he really loved you, but you say, like...
That sounds like a scam.
Dude, it is. Like, there's a... Like, back then, textual authority came from, like... Especially in the ancient world. This was kind of changing during the early Islamicate period, but, like, during the, like, Greco-Roman world, knowledge came from one of two places: legendary teachers or tradition. Like, either you have to prove that this is how people have always done it, or you have to say that Socrates wrote it. And so that gave rise to a massive glut of people just pretending to be Socrates. Like, if you wrote a new thing, you're just like, Socrates wrote this. I didn't write this. Socrates wrote this. Like, one of the smartest things that a lot of, like, okay, there's a book called the Mystical Theology by Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite, and he's, like, in my opinion, he's clearly, like, a Platonic philosopher who was mad that Christianity was taking over, and so he, like, wrote a book that was just, like, reskinning late Platonism with, like, Christian theological terms, just to be like, oh, so Platonism is banned, huh? I'll show you theology, bitch. And
that's like
sorry, hang on. He wrote under the name of Dionysius the Areopagite, who is John the Baptist's pen pal. And so, it's such a smart play because it's like, you can say, I'm pretty sure this is heretical, but it's a gamble because if you're wrong, you just called John the Baptist's pen pal a heretic, and you don't want to chance that because that's like even worse than if you're wrong. But if it's like saying that John the Baptist wrote it, it'd be like, John the Baptist didn't write it. Like, this is so different than all of John the Baptist's other shit. But saying that, like, picking a minor biblical character to attribute your shit to, that's such a smart play.
Yeah, you're just in the background. You don't say, I was actually Marge on The Simpsons. You say, I was actually Santa's Little Helper's backup on episode 4.
Exactly.
And people are like, well, I don't care enough about Santa's Little Helper to look into that. I'm just going to assume you're right.
Right, and if you're lying, people won't be too mad.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that in early alchemy as well. There was a prince named Khalid ibn Umali, I believe, in like the 8th century, who was like one of the first caliphs to be a Muslim, and a lot of early alchemical literature is attributed to Prince Khalid, even though he like probably never wrote any of this shit. But then the kind of wave of like Islamic scholarship takes over, and people become more comfortable just being a scholar writing about alchemy. That's where you get the Jabirian corpus, named for a potentially legendary figure named Jabir ibn Hayyan. And we know that he didn't write all of it because the Jabirian corpus is like it's like literally like 3,000 books. Like, there's no way that one guy could write this much.
Well, what if he was busy? What if the man was getting down to work constantly?
I think I remember reading something. This could literally be completely bullshit, but somebody did the math, and it's like, for one human to have written this with like quill and ink on papyrus, he would have to be 350 years old. So I don't know if that's true.
Was there doubt in his time, or were they just like, yeah, humans can't do this except this guy. This guy, he's actually been doing it for 30 years, so I'm pretty sure he's legit. No one else can do it.
I think the way that people treated it, yeah, he was just locked in. Exactly. I think the way that people treated it is like, there was an actual Jabir ibn Hayyan who was like a famous teacher or something, and then his students just kept writing as him. Like, so he had like a class of students who were also students of alchemy, and they were like, let's just keep saying that Jabir ibn Hayyan wrote this because he's famous. Like, let's just keep writing as him. Like, that's probably what it was. And
so
go ahead.
Is there, in this time, is there like benefits to fame? I'm assuming there is. Like, you get more scholars, or you get more whatever patronage or something, money to you because you're big in name.
You get cred, right? It's like people already kind of respected the name of Jabir ibn Hayyan as like, oh, that's like a famous alchemist. So like, people treat it with more authority. Like, there's a difference between like being an unnamed upstart versus being like saying that you're Albert Einstein. Right? It'd be like, oh, Einstein wrote this, so it must be true. I don't know if you necessarily got patronage for it, because, like, in general, the Library of Baghdad was reportedly extremely well funded. Like, as long as you were writing shit, they didn't care.
Which I was wondering, because I know in general alchemical stuff, well, generally like, I don't know, magic-esque stuff eventually gets into the taboo. Especially when you talk about like the church and things like that, when things are viewed as heretical. So I could also see it, maybe not now, but in the future at some point, of people being like, oh yeah, this guy did it, wasn't me. So that when people come looking for that guy, he's a 385-year-old man who's written 12,000 books.
Right.
As opposed to me, the guy who actually wrote it.
Well, so that's actually a good point. Like, in popular literature, there's this idea that alchemy was like this forbidden art that the church suppressed, and there's really no evidence that happened. Like, okay. Saint Augustine, like basically the first guy, like one of the first guys to like really sit down and hammer out like what Christian theology is. Like he wrote a bunch of dictionaries and shit, and talked about like, okay, what's actually allowed in Christian theology, what conflicts, what gels with it. He really didn't like Hermes Trismegistus. Like he really hated the Hermetic corpus, because there's one of the 19 or 18 books in the Hermetic corpus involves like making a statue and then ensoling it with a god, and that's idolatry. And so he like really hated. He's like, all of this is shit. All this like astrology, alchemical literature is super forbidden. Christians can't be Hermetics. But he was writing in like ancient Roman times. And so by the medieval era, like Christian kings were translating they were translating Islamic alchemical texts. Like there was no indication that any of this was seen as like particularly taboo. It was kind of like the closest that you get is like by the 14th century, in like the late medieval, early Renaissance-ish era, you get people that are like wandering alchemists who are kind of like roaming inventors, and hey Candy, we're talking about Arabic alchemy.
I was listening a little bit. Yeah, this is fascinating.
Like you got people that were like wandering inventors who were saying like, yeah, I can noble family, please hire me. I can test the purity of your gold. And those guys were kind of seen as like charlatans. Like a lot of alchemy was seen as like generally bullshit, because a lot of it is written in like these effusive coded terms, and alchemists were seen as kind of being a bit full of themselves. It's like, no man, you can't make gold. And like having an alchemy lab is like really expensive. Like it requires a lot of money to run, and it requires a lot of expensive materials to run. So they were kind of famous for just like, it's like, please give me $2,000, I will make you gold. And then they don't make gold and run away. Like it was really common in the 14th century for like a noble to hire an alchemist with the understanding that they're going to be put under a really strict contract, and then when they break that contract, you just like imprison them in a tower and force them to make porcelain. Like that
Like The Sims?
Literally, yeah. So, but in the Islamicate world, it definitely wasn't seen like that. Like the Jabarian corpus, like, okay, now that we've talked about like all the personalities behind it, the Jabarian corpus was not written in coded effusive language. The Jabarian corpus is like, it's what's called a doxography. It's just a collection of everything. It's like we're taking all the information that we can get on alchemy and we're just compiling it in a vaguely organized fashion. Like there's like 6 or 7 important massive dictionaries, and they have names like the 100 books or the 75 books. Like, so they're barely coherent. They feature like 5 or 6 methods of organizing what the materials are and what they're called. Like, there's really no consistency throughout it. It's just like a big kitchen sink. We're getting all the alchemical literature we can find, and we're translating it into Arabic. I like that Rumphole is banned on Twitch. Thank you, Chimera.
Yes.
I had to allow that.
And so you can find a lot of interesting shit in the Jabarian corpus, and it's where, like in later medieval translations in Europe, like that's where a lot of the kind of sketchy shit with alchemy comes up. It's like, oh, you're citing Jabir ibn Hayyan, and he has like some very normal stuff about like the classifications of metals, but he also has shit about how like the sacred language underlying the universe, like the universe is fundamentally made up of letters, and all things are made of language, and this is provable with alchemy. That kind of edges into heresy and shit like that, and they love astrology. So go ahead.
I was gonna ask because when I, a modern man, not even a Renaissance man, a man of the, I have Uber Eats on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of alchemy, I think of exactly. Maybe I was even taught in school that alchemy was just like idiots that were trying to turn mercury into gold and then got lead poisoning and died alone. Was it always from the rip, like a purely scientific thing, or was it like more magical? I know the like transmutation, like of lead to gold or whatever, that could be both scientific and magical. But at the rip and as time progressed, did it have roots in like magic? Like not only like scientific thing, like I can prove this is going to happen, but also
That's a
like
good question. I always assumed it was just like our scientific and cultural understanding of chemistry at the time. But it probably was also religious too.
That is a surprisingly complicated answer. So, yes, in the sense that some of the earliest alchemical literature comes from the Hermetic corpus, from the legendary author Hermes Trismegistus, who writes about astrology and alchemy and the nature of substances and how they're all related to these secret teachings of all ages. You could potentially define magic as writing that you could potentially say that Hermes Trismegistus wrote. Like the types of shit that Hermes Trismegistus wrote is magic. Because damn near every like esoteric author kind of edges in on what he's talking about. But then like the first real alchemical text, like the first text of like how to actually do alchemy, the earliest one that we really have is from Zosimus of Panopolis, who was one of these like out of work temple priests.
Great name.
Yeah, that's a fucking wizard name right there. And he saw it as religious. Like to him, the construction of these statues of the Egyptian gods was itself a microcosm of the whole of philosophy. Like to Zosimus, it was everything. It was magic, it was religion, it was philosophy and science.
Trying to do that and successfully doing that would prove your beliefs correct.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it was... And Zosimus was also kind of unique. Like, he was clearly very well read. He was clearly interested in all sorts of things. Like, he wasn't just one of these temple smiths. He was also a scribe. He was also clearly somebody in charge of books and translating and shit like that. So he was super well read, and it's pretty obvious that like dude was familiar with Gnosticism and Hermeticism, early Christian theology, Judaism.
Oh, he was very educated then.
Super educated. Well, Alexandria, the city where he lived in northern Egypt, was kind of the Baghdad of its time. Like, it had the famous Library of Alexandria.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So he was super well educated, and Zosimus kind of saw alchemy as everything. It was religion, it was magic, it was science, but also you got to be careful about that. When I say that, it's with the understanding that Zosimus did not draw the same delineations between magic and science and religion that we did. Like, they were all just natural philosophy. Like, he didn't use the term magic, science, or religion. It was just like it was just like the gods were part of philosophy, and philosophy, there was some philosophy about the natural world, and so that was natural philosophy. And he saw alchemy as the unity of all of this, a microcosm of all of it.
So it's a unified theory to explain everything.
Yes, but a unified theory with a practice, like a unified theory of philosophy that you can like test with materials and shit.
So I guess our equivalent would be like, general relativity, where it's like it explains how everything works, and you can also apply general relativity and use principles in order to do things. Like you can make carbon fiber because you understand how carbon atoms come together.
There really isn't a modern equivalent. Like I would caution against trying to draw equivalencies like that, because you end up with shit like you would end up with shit, people saying shit like quantum mechanics is the modern magic, because it's really not. Like, we don't see the world in the same way that Zosimus of Panopolis saw it. Like, that worldview, that like the assumptions about the mechanics of the universe that he understood don't really exist in the modern world anymore. Like,
I think that's why drawing a literal systematic comparison to these old understandings kind of always falls flat. There's always a cultural and socio-political environment happening in the background that shapes these beliefs that you have to take into account. That was my understanding of like what magic and alchemy was before I met you and you started teaching me about some of the stuff that you'd read. It's cultural. It's based on the time. It's the best understanding that people had, right?
Mm-hmm. And again, Zosimus was also like, there's indications that he was a pretty unique thinker. Like, there was how people understood alchemy, and there was how Zosimus understood alchemy. But a lot of Zosimus's works were pretty popular in the Islamicate world. Like, when Islamic alchemists were translating shit from earlier alchemists, they loved Zosimus. We actually don't have Zosimus's original texts. We have the Arabic translations from the 7th century. Like, that's why we know about Zosimus.
That's dope. That's so cool.
Yeah. We have
what lucky, how lucky would you have to have been to be interested in alchemy and the occult, or like whatever equivalent that would be. I'm using the occult as a word because I don't know what people actually believe, but like to be interested in that stuff and live at the same time as Zosimus, like, it's so lucky and such serendipity that somebody could get that worldly education and to be able to read and benefit from it at that time.
Yeah.
Winning the lottery.
It's like being into convenience and eating while Uber Eats is on your phone.
Literally.
What a time we could live in.
Being into slop and living in the age of Family Guy funny moments.
I love slop. I love it when he's in his car and the car, it's so fucking funny and it makes him want to drive without looking. And then he hits, I think, people or Brian. I think that's how Brian does it.
Yeah, he hits Brian Dog.
Oh, fuck yeah. He dies.
Alchemy is like when you hit Brian Dog.
So the other thing is that, like, so the Jabirian corpus, like, translates all this shit, but the Islamicate world was not interested in the mystical or, like, in the mystical aspects of alchemy whatsoever. They were like...
Really?
They were like, why are you writing in riddles, dumbass?
Okay, well, that makes sense, actually.
They had a point.
well, so one of the...
Hold on. Was this the... Sorry, you go.
No, you... Please.
Was this the same guy that was, like, or around the same time where the alchemy was, like, from the Egyptian people that were just doing, like, metallurgy and using riddles to, like, hide trade secrets? This is, like, they were translating all of those guys' books into Arabic. Oh, okay, so this is the 7th century or whatever when they were translating into Arabic. Yeah, the Egyptian riddle shit is, like, the 1st century. That's like Rome, and then the Islamicate Republic, or the Republic. It was not a fucking republic. It was a caliphate. The Islamic world was like the 7th century, but like they started doing this. Like there was kind of a proto library of Baghdad called the Academy of Gondishapur in the 7th century, and then that eventually became like that was where the translation movement kind of started, and then you hit the Library of Baghdad and shit went into high gear. Well, then it kind of makes sense that they weren't a huge fan of the mysticism aspect if they're trying to translate it. If they're just like, I don't give a... How do I make this sparkly sword that has bismuth in it? I don't... Stop talking about Venus and Mars and things like that. Yes. They were really interested in metallurgy. Yeah, they did not like the... Like, so one of the... Oh, what is his fucking name? Hang on. I've got it in my damn notes. Gerald? It's Razes. Al-Razi. He's like so after you got the Jabirian corpus, and then about 100 years later you get Razes, Al-Razi. And his book about alchemy, it's called Secretum Secretorum, The Secret of Secrets, not to be confused with The Secret Book of Secrets. Ah.
There's this is a great era for like crazy titles. They all have really interesting evocative titles. There are so many books called like The Secret, or The Secret of Secrets, or The Secret Book of Secrets, or The Book of Secrets, which are all different. So the Secretum Secretorum, or the Kitab al-Asrar in Arabic. Actually, I think I'm confusing two books there. I don't speak Arabic. Please be gentle. So it's a textbook. It's clearly written by somebody who is teaching alchemy to other people. So it's not interested in riddles. It's not interested in puzzles. It doesn't care about any of that shit. It's like, how do I teach people how not to kill themselves by doing alchemy? Like, one of the first couple pages is like, an alchemist needs 5 things. You need access to funding. You need ventilation in your laboratory. Like,
You
literally,
need
one
a
of the
water
first
bottle.
parts.
You need some Band-Aids.
How not to get mercury poisoning and die.
It's like the first couple pages of it are like, please do not inhale metal fumes and die. This is really important.
I'm glad somebody said it at least.
Yeah, and it's like the Kitab al-Asrar was so influential that it was used as like a model for setting up experimental laboratories into like the 17th fucking century. Like, this book was written in medieval Baghdad, and fucking Isaac Newton was like, this dude's on top of shit. He's like, this dude knew what he was talking about.
Oh, that's good.
It's funny how things like that also like what even was it? It was like one of the first like communities that like really got big into hand washing, and it was like a religious thing at some point.
Yeah,
and other
that's
places
Islam.
were like, yeah, they're like, yeah, we're not doing that. And then everyone started dying from diseases that just didn't affect them because they were washing their fucking asses.
Yeah.
So
Again, if I get teleported back in time, I am traveling to fucking Baghdad. I need to be able to wash my ass. Thank you very much.
I think I'm going at least to some sort of Roman place where they at least have like running water in their cities. I think that's my baseline. Like, everyone is like, oh, I want to be in like the middle of England, and I want to like, you know, and I'm like, no, it stinks a lot. And also, I also need to go to a point in time in Roman history where they weren't also only drinking out of leadened chalices because it made their.
I'm sorry, buddy. There is no period in Roman history where they weren't doing that.
I will make a way. I will find a way. They will call me the
so
anti-plebonium boy, and I will say lead is an evil thing that you must not drink of.
And they're like, oh, so they'd be like, oh, so you think the great Roman aqueduct builders are stupid, huh? And then they would drink water with heavy metals in it.
They made the aqueduct out of lead.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Really?
Okay, Rome's
That's
out.
great.
A lot of aqueduct pipes were lead lined, unfortunately.
That's so awesome.
That's actually a thing in like modern pipes. Like I think in Chicago,
like that.
like a lot of like piping and stuff is just like it's leadened, and then they just use like a PVC covering on the inside because lead's a good workable thing that you can use to like make a whole long stretch of pipes.
So you get lead in your water and you get microplastics in your water?
You only get the microplastics.
That's fucking awesome.
Unless something
Also,
goes wrong.
You don't really get the microplastics. Most microplastics are in the like ecosystem just because of car tires. If you just drink out of like a plastic bottle, you're not gonna get microplastics.
You're gonna get all the microplastics in the bottle and extra. It's gonna give you a multiplier.
Ooh,
right, you get a bonus.
Valid.
That's true.
That's why whenever you shake me around, I rattle. All the little plastics in me go in happy mode.
You've got treasures. We'll get them out of you one day.
Nuh-uh.
Why is it
If I went back in time, I had to
listen to Gwen's theme.
I would have to go after the invention of the refrigerator. I can't imagine the thought of just like leaving meat out on the counter because you have no better place to put it.
There is no way in hell that I would go back in time and eat any of the meat they were eating.
Fuck no. Fuck that.
We barely have good meat now. Like
Right.
I was running like a Wild West campaign for like a one shot and there was I forgot what it was, but like there was like a barkeep or whatever who was like only keeping the bar, and they're like, make us food. And I was like, okay. he like comes in from like tending to the mares, and he's like, oh yep, the mare was sick and was like vomiting all over me and stuff. Anyways, here's your pasta or whatever that he was making with his hands. Like, aren't you gonna wash your hands? And he's like, wash? What are you talking about? What? I don't need to do that, you idiot. You just get to eat stinky all the time. It's gross.
There's an amazing travel diary I read about of like an English guy going to America to travel in the like early colonial period, and he like stays at a bar and he describes like an inn, and he describes the guy who runs it coming out from the barn where he was like slopping the pigs and like wiping his disgusting shit covered hands on his apron, and then is like shoving his arm elbow deep into a barrel of syrup and withdrawing some pork chops, and then like making them a breakfast of like pork chops and potato cakes and pancakes and hash browns and grits and oatmeal and like 17 beers. And then
that would
like,
go so fucking hard, though.
Okay, and then the next day it's like, and then the next day they woke up and he had died of a heart attack in his sleep.
The heart attack is what killed him. Fascinating.
Yeah, like
it's unrelated.
He just fucking died.
You know what? That's a good lesson to you, chat. Hypertension is still more dangerous than pig slop food.
I don't think the pig slop helped. I don't think the pig slop was like fortifying him against heart attacks.
We have no way of knowing. I wasn't there.
No way of knowing at all. Yeah, that's actually true.
That is.
If you guys ever fear of having a heart attack, maybe be around some pigs. That's what I'm getting from that situation.
Yeah, go play pigs.
That's also
okay.
That's also how like
slop.
The alternative to like you know, places that were like wash your hands, it's good or whatever. It's also very fun to hear those myths that are like, actually, if you're near a pig, you can't die of a heart attack because the only guys in the town that like tended to the pigs just like had a genetic predisposition to not getting heart attacks. So then you have like rich people that are buying 1 trillion pigs and still dying of heart attacks, and they're like, I don't get it. The science, I don't get what's wrong. Something must be going wrong here.
We're using cutting edge science and nothing is working.
Do you see how many pigs I have? Why does my chest hurt? I don't think you understand what's going on.
No matter what you do, no matter what home remedy you have, nothing can cure being a man in your mid-30s back in the day.
Yeah.
You're gonna get high blood pressure, brother, and you're gonna die from it.
You were basically like old if you were in your mid-30s. It's like, whatever, old man.
Yeah.
As soon as you start to see a little bit of gray, you might as well start writing your will, because nothing's gonna save you.
Right.
You're not gonna get vaccinated for anything.
That's also like, have you seen those videos of like high school football players in the 1980s, and they look like they're 75 years old? Like all of them are just balding, like, cause they were like, they've been out in the sun their entire life without sunscreen, and they've been smoking for 10 years and drinking for 5. So they're just like crazy aged.
Their
so
faces are red and splotchy and wrinkled and tanned like leather.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense that back in the days they're like, oh my god, 45 years old. Because, like, if you think of a 45-year-old in 2025, they look like they're 18. And then now, because everyone's got snail mucosa moisturizers that they're using. Back in those days, maybe it was good to die at age 25.
I do like the history of cosmetics is like, dude, what if we put heavy metals and acid on our face?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, when was the last time you saw lead degrade? If that's on me, it's not going to degrade me either.
Right.
That's a good mentality.
That's good solid logic.
It's literally gonna fix
brother.
me.
Also, to cap off the point, when you guys talking about like what's like the oldest age, there was a hypothetical situation that was based off that. It was like you get like $100 for every like year in the past you go or whatever. So if you go back like 1,000 years, you get like 100,000. I mean, I think it was even more than that. It was maybe like $1 million. I don't know. But it was to the point where, like, if you go back to medieval times, you would live like by like the richest king of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the oldest I'm willing to go is like 2008.
Right.
I need like AC. I need electricity. I need the internet. I want to be able to computer gaming, like, and talk with like the friends that aren't just in the 20 square miles that I live.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere before the Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, and that was 1905.
Yeah,
1905.
Yeah.
And you want to live in like the 1700s? Are you delusional? You want rat shit on your food every day?
The 1700s were so bad, man.
Everything was so bad up until like yesterday. It's still really bad.
People
But
were
it's crazy
worse
how
at
bad
living. People didn't naturally die in their 30s. They just got killed by shit that often.
Well,
It's also just like, dude, there were states that had like when the first Star Wars movie came out, like there were still U.S. states that had like anti-race mixing laws.
Yeah, sodomy was illegal.
Well, on the other side of that, like even into like the 1910s, if you were like in a certain state and you like went out of your house, there's a chance you're gonna die because a wolf gets you. Like that's
Right.
not something I have to worry about in my day-to-day life. Like I've
Or like a
progressed
bobcat,
past
yeah.
the PvE elements of the human experience.
Yeah, I don't
Like-
want to have to worry about bandits.
We're past
Well,
that phase in Spore.
like
highwaymen.
like what's it called? George Washington, when he was going around and stuff, like going between Philadelphia and like DC or something. They were like, yeah, he was held up for like 3 days because there was a bear, and he was like trying not to get killed by a bear. So like he couldn't make a meeting because he was like avoiding like a bear, like tracking it so he didn't like run into this bear constantly. And I was like, that was like 300 years ago. You go back to like the 1200s, there's probably way more bears. We were way worse at killing them back then too. So you walk around, you just get killed by everything.
Yup.
And it's not like I know how to build a gun, so my knowledge isn't going to help any of the situation at all. I'm not going to make anything better.
When I was a kid and I read An American Yankee in King Arthur's Court, I read that book like 7 times because I'm like, holy fuck, I don't know how to do any of this. If I go back to those times, I'm gonna be like, I'm from the future. You guys are all idiots. I know about electricity and gunpowder. And they're like, okay, do it. And I'm like, I have got no goddamn clue how to do any of that. Actually,
Literally,
I
I'd
know
be-
about it. I'm not an electrician, man. Stop looking at me.
I have a lot of really good memories of what it's like to be on the computer. But if you make me make a light bulb turn on, or make like a battery cell to power like a wire, like no fucking clue in the slightest.
Right, it'd be like, there's a thing in the future called gunpowder. It's like sulfur and saltpeter. They'd be like, what's saltpeter? And I'd be like, I don't know.
Well, that's, like even to that, I'm like, oh, you can use bat guano, and you can use like ash to combine them together. And they're like, we've never seen a bat before. Well, I don't know what a bat is, and there could be bats in the area, but people just go to sleep and just haven't seen bats. Like they just don't know like what they are. Like it would just take so goddamn long to do anything. Same with like metallurgy. And then they're like, yeah, you need to find copper, and you need to make copper into tools and stuff. They're like, okay, what's it look like? And I'm like, after you smelt it, I think I'll know what it looks like.
If you find copper, you can make like clay vessels. You can make crucibles out of clay, I think.
And to find clay, I'm assuming I'll just go to every river and just try to dredge around the bottom of that until I find something that I think is clay, and might not just be like fossilized poop that I'm trying to turn into clay. Man,
The food
the other
situation
part,
would also be a lot more dire without globalization and colonization of certain areas of the world. Like,
Yeah.
if you just spawned in a different country, like, you may not get potatoes or sugar or dairy at all. You might have to completely adapt what you eat.
yeah, you get like, you also don't get meat. You get like one lamb shank like every year because that's your lamb, and now the one you've raised since a baby now is old enough for you to slaughter and eat it. And then you get a little bite of lamb, and then the rest of the days you're just surviving off of what I have to assume was like beer and gruel. I think there was a lot of gruel back in those days.
And if you get a cut on
Depends
your
on where you
finger
live.
and it gets infected, you just die.
You're fucked.
Yeah, you like even if
You don't know
are,
how to
like,
make soap.
even if you have the modern mentality and you're like, oh, I'll wash it out with clean water and like keep it dry. There's no clean water. You're going to like the cleanest river that you know. But
Right.
oops, upstream someone puked. Now
maybe
you're
you
dead.
can-
Prion disease, yeah.
Maybe you can save up for a couple years to afford a copper pot to boil the water in,
Yeah.
so that you can distill water.
The only like equivalency to that is somewhat worth it is like when you watch those survival shows and a guy that's had 80,000 years of survival experience will go out to like the wilderness with $40,000 of technology with him and like a sat phone to call a helicopter in, and still almost die because it rained too hard.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
the world is so scary.
I was like obsessed with those like Nat Geo survival shows for a little bit. I love those things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, they were always playing when I would get home from like middle school.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of
I
fond
watched-
memories of eating a fuckload of Cheez-Its and watching Survivor Man with Les Stroud.
Yeah, but Survivor Man was the one that I watch all the time too. I never saw Bear Grylls, but I'd always watch Survivor, and I remember him always just being miserable.
Yeah.
Like at one point he said something to the effect of like, I should call it off, but we need to make the video or something. And I was like, I wish you get enough money so you don't have to keep doing this, Survivor Man. You seem very sad.
I
And then
love
he's
that
like,
he
I
had
haven't-
to like
I haven't.
backpack into the wilderness with like 150 pounds of camera gear on his back.
Well, and then he had to go like hike, set up the cameras, walk back, and then walk past the cameras for some of the shots, and then walk back and get the cameras. Like that was a behind the scene things I found because he didn't go with anyone else.
Right.
So he would literally be walking like 3 times the amount that he needed to walk for whatever reason. And then he'd be like, yeah, I haven't eaten in 4 days because the fish aren't biting. And the only water I've gotten was like what I was able to drink off of the dew of a single leaf that fell to the ground while I was just sitting there. And then eventually he'd be like, well, if I get appendicitis right now, I think I'm dead because the sat phone's not working. And I'm like, oh, well, I hope you're not. It didn't feel like it was playing up for drama.
No.
He seemed very sad that he was
I-
going to be harmed permanently.
I remember there was
by
an
the
episode.
great ogre called a wolf.
There was an episode where he was like stuck in a boat at sea, like a raft at sea, and by the end of day 4 he was like delirious and going insane. And then it was like one of the few episodes that he called off early, and in the like post-game interview he was like, I am never doing that again. That was the worst thing ever. I almost died like 9 times. I could feel myself losing consciousness.
Yeah, it's like the benefit too is like, oh, you finally caught a fish. Great, now you get to eat boiled fish without seasoning. That is like, you have to, not only do you have to catch, you have to kill it, you have to cook it, then you get to eat it, then you have to like bury all the fish parts so that like a bear doesn't find it and then find you and eat you while you're sleeping.
If you even know how to debone a fish or butcher a fish.
Well, that's all based off of like, that's the main part of it is like, this is all a guy who has 1 trillion hours in survivalism. He knows how
I
to
was
do
just thinking,
everything,
like,
and it's still tragic.
If I was there, I would fuck it up completely. The bear would come get me.
Literally, the bear would fucking get me. Like, I would... If I got put in a Survivor Man situation, I'd be like, I'm cold, I want to go home. Pick me up.
Yeah, I tap immediately. Let the bear come fuck me.
If you've ever gone camping, like, even with a big group, you reach that, for me, like 3 hours in. Where you're like, okay, I'm on like a cool hike or whatever, and then like 2 hours in, you're like, oh man, I'm sweaty. Oh, I don't get to shower for 4
I want air
days.
conditioning and clean water.
Yeah, I have to go. If I'm thirsty, I have to go find a creek and hope my chlorine tablets are good enough that there's not just like amoebas in there that are resistant to the boiling that I have to do to them.
First, you miss Capri Sun and Dr. Pepper. Then you miss all clean water.
Yeah.
And when you start craving clean water, that's how you know it is dire.
Yup. It's like, I don't want to drink water with shit in it, thank you very much.
Well, that's the other scary part about drinking like dirty water is you might drink it and you're like, thank God I'm so thirsty. It's water. I'm good. And then you won't know for like 48 hours if you're just going to die from dysentery.
Right, you get dysentery, and then you shit all the water out, and you're really thirsty
Shit
as fuck again.
Yeah. That's like the big tragedy about like being in like a raft at sea. You're like, oh, I'm so thirsty, trying to buy all this cool water, and it's only salt, and I can't drink any of it.
Because it has just
That's
like
like-
a
it's like
little bit of
Tantalus.
salt in it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a
You would
part
think
of me
all the
that's
salt would
like,
settle at the bottom, but no, it's in all the water.
there's
It
a part
is.
of me that's like, I could drink seawater and I'd be fine.
That's the seawater talking.
It literally
It's
is
bad
like,
that you. It's bad that you have that thought before you get on the life raft.
You're not
Like,
even close to any seawater right now.
I know,
Guy
I
in the-
know,
guy in the
but I'm
World War
like,
II
but like part of me is like, it can't be that bad. Like, it doesn't even have that much. It's like your body literally needs salt. It can't be that bad.
Have you ever tasted seawater? Ocean
Yes.
water? That's crazy. You still think that?
Dude, I've been to the beach like every summer since I was born. Like,
That's what I figured.
Wait, but you've never like gone in the beach and then accidentally got water in your mouth? And
No,
then, like,
yeah,
God, I'm
I
so
have.
thirsty
I've
now."
tasted seawater, and I'm like, this seems fine.
It's bad.
Like,
It's bad.
Whenever I go to the beach, I'm always like, I'm in the ocean the majority of the time. I hate sunbathing. And then I always come out with like, I'll like ride the waves, so I'll get water in my mouth and stuff. And I'll come out thirsty as fuck with like cracked lips because of all the salt.
oh yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
the ocean I go to is saltier than yours.
And
I
you,
doubt
you
that.
taste the dead algae and the fish and the sand. It's such a
Nothing's-
nasty experience.
Nothing's worse than being in the water and something touches you. That's not water.
Ugh.
Oh
And
yeah,
you're
I
like,
like
oh,
hate the beach. I really don't like
the
going
beach
to the
is
beach.
like going in the ocean and swimming in the beach is fine for me. It's when you're in a lake and something touches your leg. Lakes are so much dirtier.
It's because it's less movement. Like with the
Yeah.
waves that come in, you're like, okay, the water's moving constantly. So even if something touches you, then you're like, okay, so maybe the waves kicked it up. If something touches you in the lake, you're like, it lives there. It's a moving thing that lives there that's going to take all my legs off. And I've never also heard of like a brain-eating amoeba from the ocean. Heard a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
was
it about
about to
from the
say.
lakes.
Saltwater animals versus freshwater animals, it's fucking crazy. Freshwater animals you have to worry about are like eels and alligators and mosquitoes, you know? Shit that can actually cause you problems. And in saltwater, it's like, well, there may be some jellyfish.
A lot of freshwater creatures are also like, it's an eel that eats only poop, and now it's touching your leg.
Yeah.
It's yucky.
The poop eater eel.
Yeah.
That happened last time we were at the beach. There were like crabs that were like washed ashore because of like a thing. So there's like crabs like in the ocean, and I had family members that were terrified of the crabs. And I'm like, you get that they're tiny, right? They might pinch you. You're not gonna.
What's it gonna
die
do?
from the
Walk
crabs.
towards you? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Like even if it like hits you and it like pinches you and stuff, like that's not a lethal strike. You're gonna be fine by the crab. It's
What if
about
it
the
has
size of a
crit
bug.
damage, dude?
It can do crit damage if it pinches the right part of it.
Crabs definitely have a crit multiplier. Like anything with claws
Right?
definitely has like a high crit chance.
If
Yeah.
you have AoE, you have less crit chance, but that crab has such a small hitbox, it's like Marth Tipper.
And
Yep.
now, what animal has an AOE?
Anything with a large sweeping tail, like the aforementioned alligator.
Oh, when you said AOE, I was thinking of like Dungeons and Dragons AOE, like a fireball, like a thing that you like throw
launch?
from like 30 feet.
Yeah, the
like-
American Golden Retriever has a fire cone.
like a lightning breath or something that a wyvern might have.
Nah, fucking iguanas with their like bullwhip ass tails. Like that's
Yeah.
a CC ability.
The squids with
Oh,
their
yeah.
ink, for sure.
Yeah, anything that can squirt something out. Like hagfish have an AOE ability.
The lizard with its blood eyes.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
sniper, though.
Archerfish.
That's a sniper.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
That's the fish with the mouth thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, jellyfish have DOT.
Yeah, they have.
So does the Komodo dragon. They thought it had like venom, but it doesn't. Its mouth is just crazy bacteria filled. So it just like infects you.
Imagine
from it
getting
when you
bit
die.
by a Komodo dragon and it's the 1300s. You would
You're
suffer
like, what the
so
fuck is that?
much.
Well, actually, do you guys ever see that one like write up on the Komodo dragon? It's like it's the most sluggish creature in the world. We believe its bite to be deadly, but we had to like coax it to bite the goat that it killed. So like it killed it in like a day or something, but like we just kept pushing the goat closer and closer to it, and it just didn't care. The line was like, there is no known antitoxin for a Komodo dragon bite, but if a man should be killed by it, it is God's decision or something like that. Like
It's so funny. It's like
And
you
what might have been
deserve it
good
if you get bitten and dead by this.
Literally, that was literally the context for it. It reminds me too of that old English dictionary that's like a deer. Everyone knows what a deer is.
Everyone knows this.
I fucking love bestiaries. Like, Pliny the Elder says that fucking mares are impregnated by the eastern wind.
What?
Yeah, he says
Horse
that.
mares?
Yeah, he says that female horses are impregnated by the eastern wind.
Now, Pliny, how do you know that, brother? What
He
have
was
you
just
been
making
doing?
shit up. Like he also
Yeah,
says that
that's
badgers. He's there's like a type of badger or something that can fart and deforest a 500-acre area.
AOE!
That's way too big for a
It's like massive, too. That's like a small country.
Why wouldn't you say it's like a dragon or something, like a fearsome large creature, and not just
He
like
got
a
scared of a
normal
badger, I guess.
I do
Both of those
love
seem
when old
so easily
bestiaries
disproven.
have like an illustration of a dragon and it's like the size of a medium dog. That shit's awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot which oh, maybe it was just like a Tumblr post that you blocked or something, but it was just like one knight that was like, there's like a story of like a knight slaying a dragon. Oh no, it was on a YouTube thing I watched. Glidus made it, but it was about like depictions of dragons in media, and there's like a saint that kills a dragon or
that's,
something.
St. George.
There was like 30 pictures, and none of them had the dragons bigger than the guy's horse. Most of them had the dragons also the size of a small dog. And he's like, the guy Glidus that was talking about, he's like, it doesn't even look impressive most of the time. It looks like he's killing a dog. That's just like
it literally,
standing there.
yeah. It's like, it seems easy as fuck to kill.
Yeah.
Like, just use a big, like, literally, there are very few depictions of dragons from the Middle Ages that are, like, scarier than boars. Boars are so fucking scary.
Boars are really scary, yeah.
The what's it called? The whole like 30 to 50 feral hogs thing, like being like a rationalization for needing an AK. It actually kind of makes sense if you look at a single feral hog, and then you're like, well, actually, if there was 50 and they were all charging at my child,
A machine gun would probably be pretty effective, yeah.
Yeah.
Hogs totally need a nerf. It's
No,
crazy.
the answer to that is we need cross-tipped spears to be given to children.
Yes.
So that they always have one around, so that you could, because that when you hit a hog with that, it's so angry it runs up the spear and further damages itself.
Just to gore you, so it needs to have a
We
big
need
old
to-
cross guard.
Yeah,
We need to return to hog spears, is what you're saying.
yeah.
That's one of my
That's
favorite things about Dark Souls is that Ornstein's spear is a boar spear. Like all the dragon hunting weapons are also are modeled after boar hunting weapons.
That makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why it's got that big cross guard.
Are Dark Souls dragons intelligent?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Dark Souls dragons are also like, they're not really alive. They're closer to like mountain ranges or rivers.
What?
Yeah, no,
No.
they're like,
Not
The-
necessarily.
yeah, the archdragon. Well, the archdragons are like, they're not alive and they're not dead. Like you can, if you cut a dragon's head off and then just put sew the head back on, the dragon's like still alive. Like
Some
nothing.
of them are intelligent, though. Seath has a whole lab and library.
Yeah, those are archdragons. There's also like they have descendants that are like more standard fantasy dragons that are like animals. Like those are wyverns. But like
Depends on the dragon.
yeah, the archdragons themselves with like 4 wings they're like not mortal or immortal. They're just like they're like a
Like
fact of
forces
the
of nature.
universe.
Yeah, that more aligns with like some mythologies and stuff. I thought you meant like you would be walking and then you'd see off in the corner like a mountain range that just stands up. Like Todd Howard, you can go touch that mountain, except you can go fuck that dragon.
You know,
No, they're just like dudes that are in the world.
What I like, I don't like many things about D&D. One of the funny things about that though is that there's a type of dragon, the silver dragon, that just constantly like quote unquote reincarnates itself. Like all dragons are immortal basically. So every like 100 years or so, it just wipes its own memory and then like takes the form of a human or like an elf or something as like a baby, and then just drops itself in the middle of like a city and then lives a whole life, then eventually has like dragon dreams and recalls what it is, and then has to like stage its own death so that like people like don't realize it's a silver dragon, and then just does it again. It's very funny as a concept to be like, oh, actually, I'm this. Cool.
it's the type of shit where you're like, after being immortal long enough, you're just bored as fuck.
Yeah.
Eventually, you just
I don't
become
know.
a bodhisattva.
I think being immortal after like a long enough period of time, I think you'd meet enough like interesting people.
Right, you'd think. Or you'd have beef with every other immortal person.
There has to, yeah, like soap operas never end. There's always something new that can happen to it, as long as you don't jump the shark.
Exactly.
the entirety of the immortal experience would be about like just making sure you don't get too happy all at once, or else then you have to go like put yourself in a black box in the middle of the ocean to like desensitize yourself to everything, so that when you see a plum again, you're
Right,
like,
right.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yes! One of the things I like about Warframe's lore is that the ancient alien race, the Orokin, they were like, they genetically engineered themselves to be like immortal and all-powerful, and they had like solved every physical need that they had, and so basically their entire civilization got bored, and they became an entire civilization of like, the only two things that made them happy were like doing unethical experiments just to see what would happen, or like they had entire like holodeck pleasure like lab things where it's just like you can just hook yourself up to it and like imagine the best thing ever. It's like crazy cybernetic Molly. But then they all got bored of it. It's like, oh man, the torture nexus isn't hitting like it used to.
Well, that's like that's when you have to go and desensitize yourself by being nothing but like a obsidian cube for like 30 years.
Right.
And then the torture nexus would go crazy again.
Right, you got to go back and forth between the obsidian cube and the torture nexus.
That's basically what the modern American day is. You go to work, and then you get to come home and go on your phone, and there's Uber Eats, where you can order a sandwich, and it shows up at your door via Uber Eats.
Pretty cool.
We're not sponsored.
Speak for yourself.
Maybe this is my... I would be fine saltwater type beat, but I feel like if I was immortal, I wouldn't get bored. There's always something to do. I don't learn that fast. I could always learn something new.
Literally, I would just start...
by the time I've learned everything, they come up with a new thing to learn.
Literally,
it's fucking awesome.
I would learn every language.
Yeah.
My fear with that would be the like in 20 trillion years from now when the sun explodes, and then you have to just like, though if you're like truly immortal, you probably could just keep floating and then eventually find another planet and then wait another, million years or so. Because like, if you keep floating through space and you're immortal, you're probably gonna have like bacteria in your gut or something, and then those will become new humans.
Well, the
Right.
bacteria in my
Evolution.
gut would die, most likely.
Not if it's also immortal.
Yeah, just keep
Well,
keep
the
like
conceit isn't
making
that
new
anything
people.
in me is immortal, or else I would just keep eating people.
Just keep biting yourself and then keep feeding the bacteria off bits of yourself, and then you regrow. Man,
If I'm
this shit's
immortal, I
easy.
regrow anyway.
Yeah. So you can feed the bacteria in your gut with yourself, and then you regrow.
I think that's what you would do if after the Earth explodes and our sun dies. You
I'm doing
would
that
just
day
grow
3.
bacteria.
I'm just like I quit
You're
my
doing
job.
it
I'm just at
immediately?
home. I'm just
You're
cultivating.
bacteria maxing?
Yeah.
You
I'm
don't
not-
have to wait to be immortal to do that. You could do that right now.
I don't wanna. It's gross.
I've
Well,
What
I'll do it
changed
if I have
about
to.
you being immortal then?
I've straight up been bacteria maxing lately. Like I've been drinking
Good for ya.
Yakult and stuff.
You say that.
It's
well,
good for you.
that's actually what I was doing with kombucha, and I literally love kombucha so much. But they only sell it in glass bottles, and it's way. I have to learn how to make it at home because it's extremely heavy. So when I go to the store, I'm like, I guess I'm a big strong boy. I can carry like 4 things of kombucha, and then I go through that in like 2 weeks or something, and then I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep junking up my trash with heavy glass bottles. It feels like such a waste.
I
how much
use a
sand
lot of
died?
glass bottles, so I would I would like that. I would enjoy that. I have a lot of different spices and whatnot that need to be kept in jars.
Yeah, I grow plants in mine.
Give me your glass bottles.
You can have my glass bottles. That's the same problem too with alcohol. Like if I buy I don't usually drink beer and stuff, but I drink like cocktails. So I'll go through like, I don't know, once a month, once every other month, like a nice looking bottle. I'm like, I don't want to throw it away. It looks cool. It's like special. It's got like a cork on it. I could put like a crazy like potion in there and like for like a Ren Fair thing.
So do that. Make arts and crafts out of it.
Yeah.
Well, no, but then what?
Then
Well,
you put it on the shelf and you're
then
happy.
you have
You've already
that.
said multiple times, like, you're not really excited to get, like, tchotchkes and material possessions as gifts because you kind of have everything. But the
Yeah.
one thing you don't have already is something you can make.
That's true.
Well, I don't want to.
Okay. Well, I
bad.
tried.
It's morally wrong to make things.
Shoot me in the head. Put me down. I'm ready for it.
Actually, I say that Jam and I once went with to like an amusement park for like a horror nights thing, and I was like, oh, we'll pregame. So I made freezer door cocktails and I put them in the bottles for like alcohol things, and I put what's it called? I put edible glitter in there and food dye, and they looked so fucking cool, and they tasted yummy.
That is
I'm gonna start
dope.
doing that.
Oh, if you don't want to make something for yourself, you could make gifts with those. You could melt wax and scents and make candles. That's fun too. I've done that a couple times.
I've never made a candle, though I have too many candles. I should melt all my candles together into a big bottle.
Science experiment! Boil them, yeah!
Boil.
Yeah, you can do that.
Boil.
You just come to my place and look at me, and I have like one gray bottle of candle, like a 750 milliliter like handle of like old vodka that's now just a candle that is both sandalwood and jasmine and lemonberry crush and like 30 different candle flavors that just don't go together at all.
Can you survive my bottle of smells?
Just like shaking at people that walk in my house.
Behold!
My poultice of scents.
Hey, I have a delivery for. Hold on!
Endure the gauntlet of stink.
Open your nostrils and I'll sign your paper. It's an acceptance form you have to sign.
Breathe
Please.
deeply. Can you survive?
You won't last 5 seconds with my bottle.
Also, whoever said I sounded like Kuno S in chat, fuck you, okay?
I saw that. I wasn't going to comment on it.
I was waiting for a good opportunity, but I got too excited about the stink bottle. Fuck
Gotta
you.
go through the perfume department.
Yeah, every so often I'll get like a piece of paper or like a newspaper or like a piece of junk, and I'm like, I like the shape of this. I really should throw this away if I was like optimizing my living space, but I also think it's cool and I want to look at it. So I'm gonna put it on a pile and I'll make it into something later. And then I do. And then it's not junk anymore.
I've been just pinning stuff to my wall. Like if there's a cool paper I find, it's now on my wall.
Oh, my corkboard is so stuffed full of shit. Like stickers from concerts and stuff that I go to, receipts.
See, I've got some like fishing wire with some binder clips on it, and that's like an entire wall in my room. I have to string it high enough so that Meki can't play with it though.
Aww. She can have fun?
She can have
No fun for
but
Meki.
not with my important papers.
I have a like a ruggedized box that I put all my important documents in. But contrary to popular belief, as an adult, you don't get that many important documents. Like my
No, you really
passport's
don't.
in there, and that's about it. Like I guess like tax
Like your tax
forms.
documents, and that's pretty much it, yeah.
So I just started putting like important things from my life in there as well.
At
I
least
should
in the
put
US,
those.
that's the case.
Are there other countries where you get more important documents because you're more important daily?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying. That's what
Well-
it's like here.
What would the official Amber Skies scented candle be? I don't know, man.
Ozone?
Maybe. Yeah, it'd be like ozone, like formaldehyde. It wouldn't smell
Like
good.
maybe a little metallic,
Yeah.
Pennies?
Plastic.
a little musky maybe.
Burning hair.
I can't wait for someone
It's
to
not
make
pleasant.
the burning plastic candle. I can't wait for someone to be brave enough. I forgot who it was, but someone sent me an ask recently that was like, here's like 4 different perfumes and colognes like inspired by your vibe. And it was one of the most nicest,
I got one
polite
of those
asks.
too.
I got one of those
It
too.
was so sweet. I
It's all the
wanted,
same
I haven't,
person.
I probably was. It was one of the nicest things I've ever received in my life. And I was like, oh,
They were
I
like
should
very
respond to this.
thoughtful choices too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that one's just sitting in my inbox. I ought to post that.
I responded to that with a couple perfumes that I wear for real, and I was kind of hoping they would come back, but it was like it seemed like they just kind of went around to everybody in Meat Planet. I'll ask James if they got one of them too.
Yeah.
Probably did.
Whoever you are, thank you. That made my day.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
There's an issue with colognes, and it's that I have one bottle, and I've had one bottle for probably 7 years, and I am a quarter of the way through that bottle. So if I get other bottles, it will just invariably be more of the same.
Yeah, unless you're Jeremy Fragrance dousing yourself in the shit, then it
Yeah.
doesn't go away as fast as you could be buying them.
I was in San Francisco, and I was like just walking around, and there was like a little tchotchke shop, and they had cologne. I was like, actually, I don't have a nice cologne right now. I had one when I was a kid, and then I think either like got rid of it, or like it broke or something. So I was like, I'll get a new cologne. And then my parents heard about that, so for Christmas that year, I got like a 3-pack of different colognes. And the 3-packer is unopened, and the first bottle that I bought for like, I don't even know, like $35 is a quarter of the way done, or halfway done. It's kind of sad because those colognes and perfumes and stuff, they do like expire with time. The lower the alcohol concentration, which I also didn't know this, perfume versus cologne versus eau de toilette or whatever else. Yeah, those are all different. Like they say the level of alcohol in there.
And they
so like
expire at different rates.
The higher the level of alcohol, the longer it lasts, and the more potent the scent. I also didn't know that when you apply cologne or perfume, you should do it to wet skin, because it's supposed to like meld into your own personal scent and not overwhelm it.
Yeah, although there are different, like, I forget which one it is, but like some are for wet skin, some are for dry skin. Like there's different types.
I think the higher the percentage of alcohol, the less like of the spray you use, and the more, I think, onto wet skin you want to put it, because then it diffuses into you more, so your own scent can kind of intermingle.
It also depends on the scent too. Some scents react differently chemically to your skin, depending on if it's wet or dry. And you don't want something like light and floral combining with like a heavier, muskier like sweat and whatnot.
Then you get sweet stink. That's
if you
cruel.
like that, some of them are like that, but it is cruel.
Sweet stink is how like every young adult author described burning garbage whenever I read their books.
Oh yeah, the sweet stench of burning garbage.
Yeah, they would say things like that. They would be like, the dump had this like sicklingly sweet scent, and it was acrid and stuff. I kept thinking, like, I don't think they fucking understand what sweet means at all.
So I think garbage smells yucky, actually.
Yeah, they should have said gross one, like poop or bad things.
There was the yucky, disgusting smell of rotting garbage.
Yes.
That's right, every album author. That's right, every musician ever. We think you're stupid.
We think you're dumb. So
we think
there.
You're Dummies Town.
That was a big alchemy thing early on. It was like people distilling perfumes and whatnot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they loved their distillation.
Everyone's ass fucking stank too, because of not washing it.
I guess they needed it more, huh?
Right, because they ass stank.
That's another thing too with like deodorant, because deodorant also has its own scent, unless you get unscented. But every time I've gotten unscented deodorant, I have not liked it. But then you have to because whenever you sweat, you'll activate more of the deodorant scent, and then that mixes with the cologne and the perfume as well.
That's why I wear fucking I wear like women's deodorant. Usually just smells better too.
I started wearing Axe deodorant when I was in I don't even know, middle school, and I had the Axe spray too, and I stopped using the Axe spray. But I like the Axe deodorant. I think it's just one of those scents that smells good on me, and I just have not given a fuck to try other ones. There was one that I tried that was because the Axe deodorant at one point was expensive. I think it's back to being cheap. There was a cheap one, and it was like $1 or whatever per stick, or 30 cents or something. I don't recall. I don't know how much things cost. And I got it, and it made me smell like I was in a baby town. What's it called? The powder? Baby powder. It smelled like baby powder.
It made you smell like you were in Baby Town.
I was in crazy baby town, dude. They were goo-gooing all over the Gaga lady.
What was it? What was it? It was the rap line we read last night. It was, oh yeah, my dick is covered in balls.
Yeah.
My dick is covered in balls.
From rapper
Shout out to
Lil
Baby
fucking
Town.
Bitch.
Yeah, there was a rapper we found named Lil fucking Bitch, and we read
We
some
don't
of their
condone
lyrics.
everything they've written.
No,
We
there's
don't
a
know
good
them.
amount
We
we
just
cannot
stumbled
condone.
onto them.
Yeah, but there is a couple lines that were quite choice. One of my favorite ones was, oh god, what was it? It was like, oh yeah, up next, my main man. What was his name? It was
it was
Tummy Truck. Tummy trunk?
Tank tummy.
Tank Tummy, and then it says like chorus 2 TBD because Tank Tummy didn't write his lines yet. So it's just like, and then the legend was like, oh yeah, Tank Tummy's going crazy, and then the song ends.
You're still thinking
Oh,
about
yeah,
spell
and
to
the
become a
rapper
good rapper?
The rapper spell video that you found?
That was so good. Chad, I found we were playing. You're playing on my YouTube account that's specifically for like spells and conspiracy shit, and we found a spell to become a good rapper,
Oh,
and it was beautiful.
did it work?
No,
Oh, you gotta
I
do
tried
the
it.
Eminem school where he would just
You
read
did
the
fuck up the
dictionary.
spell, though.
I did. I forgot I wasn't supposed to clench my fists the entire time. That was probably why I
No,
fucked
you
up.
were. You didn't do it. You
Yeah, I
were
didn't. I
supposed
thought
to and
I was
didn't.
supposed to, and I didn't.
Can you imagine being like a rap battle or something, and the dude like holds up his hands and he's just clenching his fists really hard the entire time?
Like he's charging up.
Yeah, like he's like his like neck vein is just bulging out of his throat while he's trying to insult your parents.
Imagine being in a rap battle and the guy you're rap battling against, his eyes like turn blue with energy.
It'll roll back into his head, and his like tongue triples in size.
Just imagine being in a rap battle and he starts levitating. Like,
That's some Baki shit.
yeah,
I
like,
give up.
dude, imagine you're rap battling somebody and you can see his aura. Like, I'd be like,
His
I
hair
give
color
up.
starts
No, this,
changing.
no. Well, okay, actually,
he like
imagine-
holds out his arm and he snaps his own arm over his knee.
imagine rap battling somebody and you can like, he starts like, his eyes start glowing and you can see his aura and his raps get worse.
He's clearly focusing on whatever he's doing, and he's just like not even speaking. He's just like, yeah, you, fuck, ow, you suck.
Shit.
Oh god, oh god.
Oh god, it hurts. Says it's scared. I think I'm about to become a rap god. Why am I glowing?
no.
Please help me.
There's gonna be a rap devil. You have to listen to me. You have to listen to me. You have to get out of here. You're gonna see
Cursed
God
eye
form.
starts glowing. The rap devil is taking over.
He says that, and then he like leaves the rap because the rap devil's got more important things to do than rap battle someone. So you lose the rap battle, even though you're possessed by the rap devil.
I love the implication that rap devils are real, but they're like not good at battle raps.
They don't. They like they're real, but they're still devils. So all they do is just like go to orphanages and try to like put bombs in puppies.
Right.
The rap devil's job isn't to do anything evil with raps?
Yeah, the rap devil's
there's
job is
a
actually to
devil-
make people like start doing like online gambling.
What are those new like nicotine pouches that you put in your mouth?
Zins?
They're the Zin's greatest allies, the rap devil.
That is totally in line for somebody called the rap devil. Hey kid, put one of those nicotine pouches in your lip. It'll make you better at rapping.
And
Go
it just makes you
purchase
think you're better
Zins and
at
other sinful things and go to your phone and download DraftKings. He says like looking at the camera and he starts doing a voice like that. It's like not on beat.
Come on, kid, smoke this cigarette. Then you'll definitely win the roulette.
Everything's like 2 syllables too long, so you're like, I guess the devil's rapping, but it's not good. But it's working.
It's bad bars.
He starts
wanting
doing
to go do
like old school rap, like the revolution will not be televised type shit, where he's like, I went to the hat store today and I bought myself a hat.
Walked into town today. It's like
Shit you hear on The
1930s.
Simpsons.
Like early Run DMC type shit.
He starts like doing
I am
that,
now rapping. It's so much better than other things.
Yes, I'm rapping to the beat. Like one of those little things.
I am the devil, and I'm here to say.
I love bad things in a major way.
Gamble
Yes, I'm
all your
rapping
money
to-
away.
Oh,
Yeah, He has like imps that show up around him, like little devilish creatures, but they're just like snapping, like the beat, like. Oh my God! Wait, he's doing like show tunes. He's doing like.
Is he a
Hamilton
greaser?
raps. Yeah. He's the devil. He's not good. He's a bad person.
I don't think rap was around in the 60s.
I like the there was an era of literature
Or the
when
50s.
greasers were seen as like terrorists.
Yeah. That's the
so
crazy
funny
thing
to
about
me.
like watching Grease, and it's like, oh, John Travolta's a bad boy. It's like the only thing bad about this is that every single teenager in this is 75 years old. And everyone's acting like the fact that they're going to lose their driver's license is a threat. Like, everyone here has a 401k, and it's terrifying.
Like,
You
literally
shouldn't
the
be in that
worst
high
thing
school,
about
man.
John Travolta in Grease is that he's visibly Italian. Like, he doesn't do anything bad.
He did drive his car into heaven at the end. That implies that heaven's real.
Right.
What
and
the
that
fuck happens in Greece? What?
That's in Greece.
Yeah, that's how Grease ends. They drive their fancy car up to heaven.
It's
That is
the
legit.
same ending as Supernatural?
Yeah, dude, it's like Grease is like the most fascist thing I've ever seen. It's literally just like it's like pure aesthetics of will. Like
I figured as much because the biggest threat to America in that movie is teens who are acting wrong.
literally. Oh, gotta
Teens
restart
are the
gotta
largest
restart the
threat to democracy.
playlist. Gwen's theme is playing again.
Do you want to
You
use
gotta
my
get-
stream music playlist?
No.
It's
I like
Damn.
my I like
Okay,
my
bitch.
I like my all Andalus themed one.
yeah. Well, it's not doing a good job, is it?
Whatever.
When it's themed 3 times.
Ding.
You got to get my playlist. It's not. You can't play it on stream, and it's just sea shanties and other like spoken word songs, and that's it.
That sounds
It's
Sounds
not
bad.
good
man.
to. It's not good to listen to unless you like are closing your eyes or like on like a long drive, and like
You must
picturing.
deprive yourself of sight to enjoy this enchantment.
When you go to the obsidian cube underneath the waves, this is the beautiful playlist for you to listen to.
This is
That's
all
my
you
opinion.
get, actually. It's the
That's all
only
you get.
thing.
What's the obsidian cube under the waves? What are you talking about?
We were talking about if you were immortal. Yeah, you gotta because like eventually you get desensitized to pleasure. So every couple
Oh,
thousand years, you gotta
that.
like lock yourself in an obsidian cube under
I
the
was here
waves.
for that.
Yeah.
It's
I
okay.
just forgot
Sanity
about
just
that.
says things sometimes.
Well, that was what we call in the comedy business a reference to a thing.
No,
That
that
is
would be a
true, actually,
callback,
yeah.
not a reference.
That's the same thing. They're
A
synonyms.
callback is a
A
type of
callback
reference.
is a joke you made earlier. A reference is specifically calling to something else.
Well,
Yeah, like a joke I made earlier.
yeah, a
No,
callback
that's not
is a
something
type
else.
of reference.
You're still making jokes right now.
Yeah, because I'm laughing.
That's why we use 2 separate terms and not the same term. They mean different things.
Square and rectangle.
That's why we
Squectangle.
differentiate, my brother.
Fire and
Oh!
ice.
I can't picture what a squectangle would be. It's either a rectangle or a square.
Well, I was thinking circle.
I think it's
see,
like
that's how
a.
they get you.
I think it's a butter shape because it's square on one end but a rectangle on another.
What?
It's like
That's a rectangular prism.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a-
like a rectangular prism, like a train car shaped thing.
Your go-to for like a rectangular prism was a stick of butter?
Yeah.
You've translated
have
the
the
concept of a 2D shape into a 3D shape.
Name
the
another
gourmand's mind.
name a more common rectangular prism. I fucking dare you.
Bread box.
No one even uses
Building.
bread boxes anymore.
Casket.
Your phone.
Ah, that's not
That's
the.
not deep enough.
Yeah, it's not. It's not the type of shape I want to evoke.
We should do a shape stream where we all think of new shapes.
Dude, we should. We should think of
Run out
every
of
shape
shapes in
on
5
stream.
minutes.
We should have a week of just colors and numbers. Remember when iCarly when they invent Dwarf, the fake number?
Oh,
Yeah, Dwarf D7.
Yeah.
I like that.
Never mind.
It
That's
came
not even
between
that.
4 and 5.
It's not even that fun because that's basically what like, if you change your number system to be base like 4 or whatever, that's basically the same thing.
Right. Well, I mean, no, we have 4. Like we have 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right, but then like five becomes the equivalent. Like it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'd be 11.
Well, no,
Like,
five
five
becomes
kind of
1,
exist
0,
anyway.
like in a base
Yeah.
4 system.
Yes.
But if you're doing like a base 12 system, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you got to make up letters after 10. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, dec el do, or whatever.
I do like those different systems. I like how, who was it, maybe it was the ancient Egyptians or whatever, that like they didn't use base like 46, but they could count up to 46. And so like a lot of things,
I think it was the Inca that had that.
Yeah.
I know they had a base
fun.
12 number system.
Well, that's what isn't Egyptians the reason why we have like the 60 seconds in a minute and 12 months in a year or whatever it is?
I don't actually know.
I think that's a lot of the reasons why we have our time the way it is. Because time is very strange.
Yes.
Like the fact that it's 60 minutes in an hour, 2 seconds in a minute, and then like when you go to fractions, you need to multiply the fraction by 60 for it to matter. Like if you have 1.25 hours, it's not an hour and 25 minutes. It's,
oh yeah, the scientific definition of like the scientific definition of a second is something like it's like 87 million times the period of a cesium atom or something.
Yeah, it's the time it takes light to travel from like one end to the other end of a specific molecule, and that is absolutely like a backronym, whatever the equivalent of a backronym would be for that, where it's like, okay, we have to agree on something. Same with like a kilogram and stuff. They have like the kilograms and stuff, but it's also like a kilogram has exactly this amount of atoms of this thing in it in order for it to be a kilogram.
See, I've always thought that if we're gonna restart the calendar system, I think we should like one of the best ways for historians to date shit is eclipses, because they're super predictable. Like we can, like, because we know when one eclipse happens, we can back calculate every single eclipse throughout history, and we can predict every eclipse that's gonna come up. So I think we should start year 1 at the first recorded eclipse.
But then what happens
the problem with that is far in the future, the rate that those eclipses happen is based on the speed of the orbit of these celestial bodies.
No,
and
we don't.
that changes slightly over time.
Right.
But
so
our
years and years
time
and years
system
and years
also
and years
changes over
far
time,
in the
too.
future.
Well, but years and days are going to be the same length, right? But like the heavens have shifted over the course of several thousand years. But we can predict eclipses perfectly. But we're still going to use like the 24-hour day and whatnot. I just think we should start naming years at the first eclipse.
I kind of like that, because then we can we also give them like cool fantasy names? Like instead of being 2025, it's like the years of the Dragon's Rest Eternal.
Yes.
I'm not memorizing all this shit. Fuck that.
I like it. I like that a lot.
I just
What's
think
also
we should.
fun
I
is
can't remember
that
numbers.
they do that in D&D, where it's like the year of 1092 is year of Hammerfell, like Dragon's Maw or something. But there was a point in which they were doing that before the year passed. So in canon, people would be like, I guess this is the year of the giant slumber. I don't fucking know what the giant is, and I'm just like a normal peasant. I really hope that doesn't bite me in the ass at some point. And then it was a metaphorical giant for the whole time.
Oh, I see.
The metaphorical giant.
A lot of naming shit is just like the 4th year of the reign of King Fucknuts or something.
Yeah. Though,
That gets confusing, though.
in like a historical like standpoint, like when I was in AP US history, our teacher, that's the name for the person that does it. He was like, you're not going to learn the decades, because like historical events do not really fall into those lines.
No.
It's all like, you will learn like this era into this era, and there's usually like a pretty clear delineation between the different eras and stuff. Which I was like, that actually kind of makes sense.
That's kind of how, like, what I think the best way to conceptualize of a lot of history is like, just start with vague centuries. Be like, what happened in the 1700s? Oh, these couple things. Like, start with broad eras and be like, it's from generally here to generally here. Find events that, like, mark those generally, and then get more specific with, like, okay, what happened in the various centuries?
You really only need to memorize years when certain events happen in those years that are significant enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For the most part, you can just like try and remember the time periods, the eras, the centuries.
It's also true for life. Like you don't need to be like, oh my god, I'm 23. That means I'm in my these things need to happen. It's like, no, I'm in the era where I'm now going to move out of my parents' house, or this is the ending of my schooling era, and now I'm going to be going into the next era.
Yup.
That sort of mentality
that's true
also
of,
helps.
like, I also think that decades begin on the 2. Like, the 70s didn't start until 1972.
Yeah,
I think there's a little bit of lag there.
there is.
The 80s didn't start until 1982, and they ended, like, the 80s ended in 1991.
The only
I
reason
also
that works is because, like, after the 1900s, our cultures and technologies began advancing fast enough that each decade could reasonably have, like, different cultures and trends that are distinctive from each other.
That's true,
Before
yeah.
that, it's different.
Yeah, you kind of get centuries. You kind of get, like, early century,
depends.
late century, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It depends on the access of technology and communication within the culture. But
Yup.
for the United States, that would be accurate. So I'll give
Even
you
in
that.
the
You get
United
a plus
States in,
one.
like, the 1800s, it's like 1805 is definitely different than, like, 1890, but it's not that different.
Yeah, exactly.
I do agree with, like, the long 60s thing, Irelayer. I think that's super true. Come on, I want the gold one, please.
Did you not get it?
I'm not getting it. I want that Acfasto. I want that Acfasto, dog.
You gotta act
Sounds
fast,
like a
though.
slur.
Sounds like a Star Wars slur.
It does.
Oh, give me a shitload of Argon. That's awesome. I need that.
Oh, I lost the race to that dirty egg Fasto.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Wars is great.
It's
We
not.
no, it's not.
How is Star Wars doing this day? Didn't they had like a new season of a show that was good?
Andor season 1 and 2 is, I've heard, like, pretty, like, generally really good. I have not watched it.
I've
I need
seen
to watch it.
season 1 and 2 of Andor, and it was like damn good TV. That was like the best that Star Wars has been in a while.
Let me see if there's any new Star Wars news. I honestly, what I love about doing the yearly Star Wars streams is that I am not keyed into Star Wars in the slightest. So every year I will, like, refresh myself a little bit, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? There were like 7 TV shows I've never heard of before that had one season and then stopped.
Yup.
Interesting. Okay. Like, didn't Ahsoka Tano have a TV show?
Yeah. They got like 2 seasons of that
Yeah.
one, and I don't think anyone watched that.
No, nobody gave a shit.
I didn't even see it in the, like, angry, like, Star Wars is failing sphere of YouTube.
Yeah, nobody
Right.
even
Just didn't
cared.
even talk
It
about
just wasn't notable.
Yeah.
It came
Wasn't
in
there
with,
some
like, a
interview where it was
gentle
like, yeah,
breeze.
like Jonathan Favreau is the Ahsoka guy. He's not the Andor guy.
That would, hopefully. He's the guy that made Chef and then
Chef.
what's it called?
Chef.
Chef. Chef.
Chef.
Chef.
Chef.
Chef.
Chef.
Yes, I'm rapping to the beat. My name is Jonathan Favreau. He's about to rap.
Rapping shoes. Got my rapping shoes on my
The
rapping
rap devil
feet.
got to him.
Rap devil.
Chef.
We gotta bring back doo-wop.
We should.
We don't.
Doo-wop
Dude, we should bring back
revitalization.
doo-wop, but like make it horny.
Horny wop.
We should,
I
we
don't
should
think
call it
that's gonna
fuck
work out,
wop.
folks.
That's Fetty Wap's evil cousin.
Fuck wop.
Fuck wop. Isn't that the song that Ben Shapiro hated?
Why do you
Yeah,
pick his
yeah.
name that? He's not even Italian.
Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did.
It's
is that a
me,
stage
Ben
name?
Shapiro. I argue
a
with
me.
the college students.
I use it to
thought
facts
you
and
could-
logic.
Facts don't care about your Parmesan. Whoa.
Hey!
Because your Parmesan's bad.
That's the hype man. He goes, whoa, hey!
If I had like $1 million, I would like pay like a janitor in like New York City to be their hype man for the day. Like whenever he's like walking around doing his normal life, I'm like, whoa, he's mopping here, and it's okay because I'm paying that guy $30,000 for me to let me do that.
That would be fun.
I also said $1 million. That's not enough money to drop $30,000 on one day of janitorial hype man.
Right, that's a significant portion of your fortune, my friend.
The only issue with inflation that's happened in the last 75 years is that $1 million is not like an infinite amount of money that you can't ever possibly spend in a lifetime like it was in
It
like
should be an infinite
1930.
amount of money, but
It
$1 million
should.
is now not a ton.
The average American that retires is a millionaire.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You need to have on average like I think like $1.2 million of assets in your bank account to be able to retire by age like 65 or whatever.
That's actually fucking crazy.
That's
Yeah.
fucked.
Well, like if you look at average like salaries for people that are in like their 60s and 70s that are like in the 401k industries that are retiring, they've been making six figures for multiple years. So it's not crazy unreasonable, right? But that it's like 10 years of net wages, but it is still crazy on a vacuum like plate just to say that.
Yeah, that's
I
kind
haven't
of
made
wild.
6 figures for 1 year. That is
Well,
crazy.
You're not 65 yet.
I guess that's true.
Maybe it'll all turn around.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Nobody knows.
No, nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. I did find a Po Buddy who was nerfect, actually.
And his
That's
name
not true anymore.
Lies.
It's been disproven
Albert
by
Einstein.
science.
His name is Lies. I actually just went and saw a duck, and his name was Your Name, and he was stepped on and died. What's that PJ I posed? It's kind of like that.
It's like I saw
It was-
it was something about like a rat.
Yeah, I saw like a pregnant rat, and I kicked it or something, and it's like
and
you
its
didn't
name
do
was
that,
Your
PJ.
Name.
Its name was Your Name, actually. It's a really good. It's a really good line because it doesn't matter. Like the pregnant rat did not
You
have
just
a
said
name.
that to be mean.
Yeah. But like the best part about that is that he was trying to say that to be mean, but it's not even mean. Like
No, it's just odd.
multiple people have my name. I'm not so
A guy
I'm
in
not
my
sole
squad
name.
right now is named Gaming Manifest.
Oh my god.
That's
That is
badass.
Respect.
That's actually terrifying and prophetic.
He's playing
The
Inara's
prophetic
Prime.
terrifier. Just owning your house is like 200 to 500k in assets. That's the other big part is that like a lot of people that are retiring also like bought their houses for $30,000 and now they're worth $600,000. So you have like, you know, investment accounts and you have whatever, but you also have like that sort of acclamation of wealth too. That's
Yo,
more for people that live in like suburbs and cities and stuff though.
Yeah. It's crazy that we have to be like, we're supposed to be like thinking about shit like that.
Yep.
I should already be partway through, like, the process of buying a house. If this was like 20, 30 years ago,
Yeah.
I would have the money saved and the ability to acquire a house for myself.
A bunch of people that I went to college with are married, have kids, and a house.
That shit's crazy to me.
It's terrifying. Well, I also have a family friend who I went to his wedding and stuff, and he was the like latest person that got married in his family at 22.
Jesus.
I
Dude,
was
you're not
like,
even a
oh,
person at
nightmare.
22. That's crazy.
What a
No,
nightmare.
you're not. Like it's so impossible to like comprehend it. It's so scary too. But he also
Yeah,
came
like
from
half of my coworkers are like, yeah, we just got married and we're about to buy a house. And I sit there and smile and grimace a little because it's like, we have the same job. You're not being paid shit.
Yeah.
How are you doing this? What mortgage are you taking out?
Literally.
Are you really gonna work
like-
and pay debt until you die?
It's like, what bank gave you this loan, dog?
You say that, but like, yeah, like the smallest mortgage that you get is like a 30-year mortgage. And
Right.
what also made me kind of feel a little bit different about that is that you are not supposed to pay off your first mortgage. You're supposed to get like 3 or 4 years into your first mortgage, and then you just sell your house for a profit. And that is just understood as like a default thing you do as a human that I did not learn in school. But I was
I
like,
didn't even know you could do
That's
that.
fucking crazy.
you're supposed to with your first house. Usually you don't usually get a mortgage unless you're planning on staying in place for about 5 years. But most people that buy homes, they buy like condos and apartments, and you can't have like if you're planning on having multiple children and stuff. Usually, if you have like a 2 or 3 bedroom, it's difficult to raise like a, you know, yourself a partner and 3 children on that. So you have it, you hold on to it for 3 or 4 years, 5, 6 years, and then you sell it and then get like a place further out And then you like, if you like live in the city or something, then you just commute like an hour a day to work for the rest of your life. That's
Jesus
the
wild.
fuck.
that's the scary part. Like, oh man, it's crazy.
It's like, it's wild that people, it's like, I'm like 28, and it's wild that people like younger than me are getting married. Like, there's a dude I knew like in college who was like, he's getting married now, and I was like, dude, you were saying slurs on like Counter-Strike lobbies like last year. Like,
Yeah.
you were not
That's
ready
like-
for this.
There are people that are like married and have children that are still doing that. Like, you will, like, if you're just in like a CS:GO lobby or like a Black Ops lobby, you will hear like a dad with like a crying baby just like dropping horrible slurs and going 7 and 14 at like 2 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's
this
part
is-
of why I have a lot of respect for Northern Lion, because he's like, he seems like he's a good dad. I know that's parasocial as fuck to say, but it's like,
He's got his head on his shoulders.
yeah, dude's got his head screwed on right. Where it's like, when I think about dads, I'm like, yeah, this is a dude who could be a dad, like who could like handle being a dad.
The thing that tipped me off that he's like a normal guy is that like he's not like showing off his baby to the camera all the time. You
Yes.
know? Like he's keeping his personal life offline. He'll talk about it and like give anecdotes and stuff and share cool things that he's seen and done with his kid as he's raising her. But like it's not like one of those like vlogger family type things, you know?
Yeah, God, those have like devil energy to me.
Yeah, that's exploitative.
Oh,
Kids can't
BGM05.
consent to being online.
Fuck it, BGM05 in chat. Like, I had an internet acquaintance who had been married and divorced by age 19. Have you guys seen the Tumblr post from like 2016 of like the person doing the Wonder Woman transformation? And it turns
Yeah.
into like one of those classic Tumblr posts with a million notes where it's like, it's like, we're married now. And then she did the same, the same GIF, like recreated it like 8 years later, and it's like, we got divorced.
Wait, really?
That's
Oh.
so fucking funny, dog.
I saw that in my dash today, and I didn't read it all the way because I was like, "This is an old ass Tumblr post. Why are we reblogging this?"
I didn't
No,
see
that
that.
shit's
That's
so
That's
funny.
so funny.
I was like,
But
that's
also, like,
that's peak banter.
Like, I don't mean to tell you how to live your life, but please don't marry before you're like close to or at least 30, somewhere in there. You know,
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well,
let your
it's
brain
also like
learn.
the reason for that too is that it's difficult to get divorced. Like, I mean, not just the legal part, but like emotionally. If you marry someone, you
Yeah.
at least have some inkling in your mind that this is going to be for the rest of your life, and yeah, it's probably your like closest friend that you're marrying too, even if you're not that close to them, which is a different thing. But like the whole like emotional turmoil of being like, actually, I want to be away from this person. I need to get divorced and everything. It's a lot to go through. So like,
Right.
it's fine to get married like, you know, young and stuff, but know that you are going to change, as well as your spouse, your partner, or whatever. And
it's
if
also like you're basically betting financial security in that relationship too. And if that doesn't work out, you could lose everything.
Literally.
yes, especially if you stop working, because then you are going to be going into like a workforce where if you take time off to have children and stuff and you're not working, you haven't worked now in 4 years in the workforce, and you know you have a very like, you might be able to get a job, but it probably will not be like the same level that you left, and it definitely will not be more money than you left, because you are missing a lot of experience that people that have been in the workforce are missing.
God, that's part of why, like, I don't know, there's no way that I'm getting married anytime soon. Like, I am a writer. I do not make much money. I'm generally pretty good with money. Like, I have quite a bit in savings from the publishing contracts that I've gotten. But I am not, like, I don't spend money. Are you fucking crazy, man?
Yeah, that's the other like, I go to work with people like, you know, adults, parents, dads and stuff, and they like have 3 children, drive an hour to work every day, and then like buy lunch. Like they don't
Yeah,
they
I
don't
can't.
bring lunch from home and stuff, and I'm like,
Half of
Oh.
my coworkers are like in the same like sports betting apps and like have groups in that.
That's
and I'm like,
so bad.
they're like, yeah, I lost 1.5K on Steph Curry in the most recent game. And I'm like, what the fuck are you? A, where are you getting that money from? B, why do you not care that it's going? How did
It's
you
like
get in
that-
this position?
Don't you?
in
It's
the
like,
first
don't you
place?
need that money, dog? Like, what if you get sick or something? Like,
That's
like
a month of rent for me, utilities included. What do you mean, dog?
There's that one post that's like, I can't see how people become gambling addicts. I just lost $3 on a Vegas slot machine, and I'm trying to find ways to find fertilizer online.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Dude, I buy a hamburger that's like more than $12, and I'm like, I gotta lock down for the rest of the month. Like,
Yeah. I've been saving money for a while, and now I'm like, I'm once I moved, I got like a new mattress and everything, and I have the money to spend, and I'm spending money on things that it's a good investment too. Like, you know, you need to spend a lot of money on a mattress so that it's good. It's gonna last a while, and you spend, you know, a quarter of your life on it or whatever. But still, it's a lot of money to spend at one time, and I'm like, maybe I'll just sleep on the ground. Maybe the ground's good enough, and I'll give the mattress back, and I won't need to spend the money.
The only thing that you can justify in my opinion, the only thing I can justify spending a lot of money on is something that is like you've done a lot of research into it, and you know will last you for a long time. Like a good pair of shoes, a good mattress, quality clothing, stuff like that. That's important.
Here's my strat. I usually buy the cheapest version of whatever it is I need, and then I wait for it to break, and then I like upgrade a tier. And then I just it's like, okay, this is broken, I've got all the use I need out of it, I'll buy a slightly nicer one that will hopefully last a little longer. And then eventually, it's like, because sometimes the shitty version is like all you need and it lasts you like 10 years.
Yeah.
For me, it depends a lot on what that is. So like, I was looking at like electric toothbrushes, and there was one that was like $300, and then there was one that was like $30. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna get the $30 one because worst case scenario, it's a normal toothbrush, and I can like use my arm to move the bristles around and stuff. And the $30 one is all I needed. I'm good on my teeth.
Literally.
But for like the mattress, there was like I forgot who it was. It was either like a coworker or like my parents or something. They were like, oh yeah, Costco has this sale for mattresses. It's you know, $100 off or whatever. They're like, just get that one. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to like look into it. And I like spent like an hour, and ended up spending like twice, or I don't even know how much more money I spent on the new mattress. But I like sat on it and like slept on it and like went around and looked at reviews and stuff. And that mattress that I'm going to get is like way better than the other ones. And knowing myself, if the other mattress was good enough, I would not get rid of it. But now I'm going to get a really good mattress because I've convinced myself I've made the right decision.
Yup.
That's all you need to do in life.
A purchase I made recently, similar to that, was I got a nice pair of leather boots, like a month or something ago, somewhat recently. And, like, I have very, very wide feet, so I would always do research into, like, shoes that wouldn't hurt my feet and would last long. But, like, I move around a lot for work. Like, I'm not very sedentary. And so, like, within a year, the shoes I would buy would always wear down. And because I had to get shoes that would, like, accommodate my weird feet dimensions, they would always rip. They never lasted a long time. But these, like, I paid probably around $200 versus the $100 I would spend per year on new shoes. So it basically equals out. And these have lasted me, they are not showing the normal signs of wear that the other shoes have.
Right.
So it's gonna end up being worth it, I think.
No, I think boots are one of those things you can justify spending a little more on, especially if you do your research and if you're walking around all the time.
The boots, I actually Googled because I recalled it being like an actual thing. Boots theory, it's from Discworld actually.
Yup, the Vine's boots theory.
Yeah,
that's
it's
how
like
I base my opinion on.
It's that you, to those of you who don't know, it's that like a poor man can only afford to buy the lowest tier of boots, and if they're $100, that's all he can afford. And then they'll break, and then he has to spend his next $100 to get new boots. But the rich man can afford to buy a $200 pair of boots that might last more than twice as long.
Exactly.
Yup.
Especially if it's something you use a lot. Like, if it's something you use, like, or have never used before, infrequently or never, don't drop a bunch of money on it, even if it's something that'll last you a long time and it's good quality. Like, spend a lot of money on good quality things that you know you will use a lot. Like a mattress and shoes are good examples of this.
Exactly. No, especially mattresses. That's a third of your life, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the mattress places also have like, you know, well, warranties obviously, but also like a sleep on it, then return it later if you don't like it or whatever, which I would recommend doing for recognizing that's also an option for a lot of like larger purchases. Like computer component parts also generally have like a return window. And if you don't love it within the period, just take it back, get something
Yeah, get
else,
your
and then
money
if you
back.
hate that one, you can also just get the first one again.
Right.
Because it's not like you're losing money.
That is a good point.
You can never lose money.
I'm like extremely careful about like planning for my financial future.
It's funny because a lot of the financial advice you get when you're younger or like as a young adult is not to spend money at all. But a good chunk of the time, the best strategy you can implement when trying to be more careful with money is spending the money but more carefully and more thoughtfully.
Yeah.
Research is the biggest
Just don't
thing
be
for spending
impulsive.
money.
It's
if,
also
if something catches your eye and you like really want it, like wait 2 weeks, you know?
Never buy.
yup.
Never buy things you want.
Like yeah,
If you want it, that's the devil talking.
I've learned to like just I've learned to recognize where it's like, oh, I want that thing, but I know for a fact I'll forget that I ever saw this in a month.
Yeah.
There's a lot
For me,
of
it's
that.
like I'll put it in my cart and then at least wait till the next morning if it's any sort of like expensive thing, because there's a good chance that if like I also don't make purchases after like 10 p.m. at night, because if I'm at night I'm like, ooh, I want it, yeah, I'll just get it, and then the next morning I'm like, I'm not gonna need that.
Yeah. I remember
My
being like
strategy-
5 and being like, I need this Connects roller coaster right now.
Yeah.
I remember it was back when like there was this big Connects ball contraption that little me wanted so bad, and I saved up my fucking Christmas money because it was $50. So I saved up all my Christmas money and birthday money and whatnot, and I bought it, and it was exactly as fucking cool as I thought it would be. It was like even better. It was the exact opposite of when I bought that Hot Wheels volcano, and it was like it sucked real bad. This connects both. It had a pneumatic pump that sent the balls up to the top and shit. It was
Ooh.
super fucking loud. It was awesome. I played with that thing so much. It stood. I love to like build it and then take it apart and put it back together in different ways and shit.
Oh, you got a lot of excitement out of it.
I
then.
did.
That's
That
good.
was like literally one of the best $50 that I ever spent.
When I was a kid, I saved up, I think like 2 gallon-sized Ziploc bags worth of change to buy Webkins. I
Oh,
bought
fuck
a
yes,
fuck
sir.
ton of Webkins.
w-
And I played the online game a lot too. I played with the plushies. I would like make like soap opera dramatic scenes with them where like one of them would die and the other ones would like fight with each other as to who did it, and then I'd go on the online game. I couldn't bring myself to kill them in the game because they would frown at you, but the plushies never did.
There's like
Right.
I think there's an ancient picture of me from when I took apart my Connects like pneumatic ball pump thing, and I reassembled it into a suit of power armor
for you.
for me. Like I made
Badass.
Yes,
Oh my
it hurt
God.
like a lot to wear it because their Connects are like really sharp plastic.
Yeah.
So I would like I made a suit and I made like a rubber band gun that could fire like it was like a burst fire rubber band gun. And it was
That's
crazy
badass.
badass. And I know somewhere there's a photo of me wearing it when I was like 7.
Were y'all like, you were CT obviously because you built fucking power armor, but Sanity, were you like a tinkerer as a kid? Did you build like doohickeys?
No. What did I even do as a child?
While you think on that, I want to share. I used to, my parents called them my inventions. I never had formal names for them, but when I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, like using scraps and stuff from around the house, I would like build random pulleys and shit in my room, like on the handles of my dressers and light fixtures on the walls, for no particular reason. Like I wasn't doing anything with them. I was just kind of building them and watching them move.
Yes.
But
inventing.
it's like a bunch of tripwires and shit, like just playing physics.
That's like the purest form of playing toys. It's like
My
that
parents
and
were
like
so mad at me.
that and making up soap opera shit with your action figures are like pure toys. That's the essence
Yeah.
of toys.
I had, oh my god, I just remember this now. Did y'all, this was kind of a niche art supply slash toy thing that was popular when I was a kid. Like string coated with different colored wax. I can't remember what the brand was
Were
called.
they called silly bands?
No, those were rubber bracelets.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I had a lot of those too.
that
These
was
were,
like playground currency for my era. Like
yeah,
you
that
could,
was smack when you were a kid.
you could get a hand sandwich for that.
Yeah, there was like mafia structures in my school. They had to ban them when I was a kid because there was like trading with them, and we had like a micro economy. It got really bad. It was exploitative.
For me, it was
Was a hand
erasers. I
sandwich
set up a
something that-
lottery. Like I was setting up like gambling lotteries for erasers at my school.
Wiki sticks, yes!
Wiki
They were-
sticks, I fucking
The
remember
wax-coated
those.
string that you could form into like, you could put them on things and they would stick to shit. It left a wax residue. My parents hated these. But like you could make your own. I used them to make my own action figures. Like
Yes.
of like my OCs and stuff. And you could make little weapons with them and stick them on your like existing stuff, and you could give them like with pipe cleaners, you could give them like wireframe bodies.
I
Those things
remember
were the
seeing
best.
commercials for those.
Yes.
And I knew that everyone at my school fucking loved them, but I never played with them because I thought, because in my mind it was like, oh, that's girl shit. I don't want that.
That and it was like Floam, like free
Floam.
Yes, that was my shit.
I remember seeing them like, you can put Floam on a side table and make it cute and fun. And I remember thinking, like, even as a little, like, middle schooler, I was like, that kind of looks a bit shit.
No, I watched that commercial and I was like, I will get in so much trouble for putting Floam on my dessert. No, I can never do that.
I can never have the Floam.
I can never have fun. You could still get wiki sticks now. I'm considering getting some.
What would you
Just
do with
to
them?
relive the memories. I would make my OCs with them again, bitch.
Oh, you remember them?
The old OCs I had when I was a little kid, a couple of them, yeah.
That's fucking
The-
awesome.
My Sona now is an adaptation, is like the I think like 8th or 9th revision of the first OC I ever made.
That's so cool.
I just kept changing it. I used to go by a different name online. I used to go by green for no particular reason.
Green.
It was just my favorite color. And I changed my Sona's entire color palette. It was funny. It went from green, and then I started adding little elements of pink in there. And then I eventually just changed everything to like red and pink.
That's awesome. I love that your Sona used to be a yucky green thing.
I'll send you the pictures. I still
Yes,
have
I want to see. I want to see.
I have the first digital art I ever made still saved on this computer. I've saved every piece of digital art I've ever made since I was a little kid.
Mistheart
Wow.
101. Oh, this gives me a chance to admit something funny. My username is my fucking Warrior Cats OC from when I was 12.
Yes!
That's badass. That's literally badass.
Yes, that's the point of everything. A part of the child you should still be alive inside of your adult brain right now, and you should be loving that child.
Yes, absolutely.
That child needs to be just as happy as the adult that contains it. It's so important. CT, did you make any funny little OCs when you were a kid?
I
Did you get a
know
job
I
or
did.
something?
Like, honestly, there's so many like notes for fantasy world building that have just been like consistently developed. Like, I still have a stack of my old notebooks somewhere that were just like my old fantasy world building type shit, and
Mhm.
a lot of that shit has been like, it's just been like repurposed for my own work.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I have tons of old spiral notebooks and like old school composition notebooks that I labeled for the class, but then just ended up filling them with doodles anyway.
Oh yeah, a lot of shit was just like me being bored in school and doodling on my homework because I fucking
Yeah.
hated school.
I drew so many My Little Ponies and like YouTubers in my old notebooks.
Oh, that's cool. One of my personal email accounts is the old outdated name of my OC I made back in middle school. Still have the OC, but her name and design hasn't changed that much. She's nigh unrecognizable. Yeah, I think that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking badass.
Oh, I found it. Okay, it's in your DMs. Look at it later, though.
I will.
I have, oh my god, this is so funny. I have every single old, like, official, nice, clean drawing I did of this Sona from when I was a kid. So you'll be able to see, like, the changes over time as it shifts into my current Sona.
That's
so
awesome.
funny. I love little kid OCs. It makes me smile every time. When we were playing Thothpig last night, we found like a young kids YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Where they were making animations of themselves, like talking about stuff. It was so good.
It was one of them was just like, I had Sour Patch Kids. They're watermelon flavored, and then there was like 45 seconds of silence.
It was so good.
Oh, chat for. The name of my account on YouTube that has like all of the conspiracy shit and spells is called Thothpig. So I refer to checking out that shit as playing Thothpig. And it's a blast.
It's a gas.
We were fucking crying laughing at some of the stuff. I don't even want to. The first video that we watched, I don't even want to say.
Which describe it to me.
I've created the first drawing.
Oh yes. I mean, no one is gonna find Mystical Butler. That's our special one.
I don't know, in case you wanted to use it for something later.
I will. I will eventually show off Mystical Butler. I have it saved to my hard drive just in case the channel goes away, but I love Mystical Butler so much.
Good. I'm glad.
I have completed the first drawing. You're incredible. What movie is this?
when they start talking like the first line of dialogue and they're cut off immediately.
Yeah. My foot and leg started hurting like I broke a bone. Is this a sign? Are you male or female? That shit was so funny. Bro, I howled. Me too.
Yeah, you took screenshots of like 50 comments.
I have there were so many.
We found little kid YouTube in like werewolf hypnosis transformation videos, and like half of the comments were like, day one of being a werewolf, I could feel my body start to change. My foot hurts, but I don't know if that has to do with being a werewolf. I howled at the moon.
One of them was like, please help, I barked at my teacher. How do I control my anger? I got in trouble because I barked at my teacher. How do I control my wolf anger?
I will wait to become a werewolf until I am 20, so my parents aren't mad at me.
Not Skittle. The problem with a lot of like real Duende sided channels these days is that they're all like AI generated. So if you're gonna search for that shit, you gotta go like Duende real, but then search like before 2016. Ugh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time for us to wrap up. Thank you for joining. Hey, can somebody check the Discord link real quick to make sure that's still working?
Yeah, I will go do that.
AI has done immeasurable damage to fans of bad YouTube. Absolutely. Yeah, you can use command !Discord. Join the Discord. Come hang out.
That does not appear to be working.
It doesn't?
No.
What's the bot you use?
I don't know. Somebody else set it up for me.
If it's Streamlabs,
If it's Nightbot, I can help you with it later.
Okay. Well, we'll get
I can
that.
help you set it up after stream if you like. I could just go in your Discord server and find the link.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
Just tell me when. And hey, I'm only able to do this because of your generous support on Patreon. If you want to throw me some money, the link, I'm just Cryptotheism on Patreon, or you can follow the link or the command in Discord, but I also don't know if that's working. Grins.
Okay, it's in chat.
Yay!
Have fun, chat.
Follow that link. Come play Discord with us.
Yippee!
Yay!
Find
Thank
your
you for
Thoth
joining
pig.
us, everyone. We will see you later. Is anyone live? Shall we raid someone?
Let me look.
GDQ and the Wolf Conservation Center.
Okay. Oh yeah, GDQ is happening. Everyone go watch GDQ.
It's Metroid right now.
Ooh.
Oh,
You get to meet
which
Samus
Metroid?
and her friends. Metroid Zero Mission?
Oh, very fun. All right. We'll catch you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
That was big.